He can't finish. He couldn't finish last year, just like how he can't finish this year. Um, you want to blame the Lakers system for him missing mid range shots and him missing layups when he gets to the rim. These are things that I've seen Russ do before in the past. I've watched damn near every Russ game of his life because that's my
Cap.
favorite player. But not his life, but of his career, I should say. Um, he'll beat his defender off the dribble and not even get up off the ground because his athleticism just isn't like that anymore. He'll miss a layup. He's getting blocked by Luka Doncic when he blows by him. Like, when are we going to just start? It's the decline. That's just what he is as a
Yeah, I
player
love
at
talking
this
about him
point.
getting blocked by
Hey,
Luca, but
Shad.
don't like talking about
Shad.
how he
So,
dunked on Rudy
Yeah, yeah.
Gobert.
Shad, do you
Yes,
think
Joy.
that he would be performing differently if he was on a different team? Yes or no?
Name the team.
The Wizards.
If he was on the Wizards right now
Yes.
with so basically the same team as last year.
Would he still be averaging 18? Like, he looks terrible. I've never seen Russ look this bad. Do you think that he would be averaging different numbers if he's on the Wizards? Yes or no?
He'd just be averaging a triple double. That's really just be it.
Oh, are those different numbers or not? Because
I mean, yeah,
you said that like
Empty
yeah,
stats.
those are different
Close.
numbers, but they're just allowing him to do that. Like,
they're allowed. Okay, all right.
Bradley Beal, obviously Bradley Beal would benefit with having a playmaker and he can play off ball. But other than that, like, what does that really do for the Wizards? They're gonna be in the same exact spot
They
they were
made the
last year.
playoffs.
And
That's
they're
better
gonna
than
be
this year.
in the play-in. They're gonna be in the play-in. The East is way better this year, so I no doubt in my mind they don't even
Shad.
make the playoffs.
Hey, Shad.
It's
okay,
not
like
your
I
turn.
said,
It's
like I
somebody
asked
else's turn
Mark,
to speak. Why
Hey,
you
like
Joy,
I
ask
asked,
questions?
like I asked Mark earlier.
It's
Would
someone
you
else's turn
rather
to speak.
have what the Wizards rather have this year or last year? Last year, plain and simple. Like, y'all are trying to blow it off like it's
Oh
the
my
same,
God.
and it's not.
Bro, I don't know that for sure.
Can Caleb go? It was his turn.
Yeah, go ahead, Caleb. Go ahead.
Well,
Thank you.
Shaw wasn't necessarily finished talking either. So
He was.
he
I'm pretty
wasn't.
sure
I
he
would
wrapped
let
up.
her get.
what we're not gonna do is there was a back and forth between Joy and Shaw. Let them get off. Let Shaw land his plane, and let me and my co-host decide who's talking next. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Ashley.
You're welcome.
Thank you for doing that.
Finish your question, Joy.
I think she's done, so you can go ahead
Yeah,
and
I
continue
finished.
landing your plane.
Oh, well, in terms of what the Wizards would rather have, I would rather have the team with a young player that I can build around. Or I'd rather not just be wasting money on Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook to not make the playoffs. Last year, they barely snuck into the playoffs. They beat a bad Pacers team to make the playoffs. And this year, if you look at how the East is shaped up, there's no doubt in my mind that the Wizards do not make the playoffs. So, like, there's
They
no.
don't have Russ, of course. Listen.
Oh my
So
God!
you feel like they should trade Bradley Beal as well?
Name
Oh my
the
God.
team
Joy,
in
can
the
I ask
East
you a question, Joy? Joy,
that
can
they're
I ask you a
beating.
question,
Yes,
please?
go ahead.
Please.
Go ahead. I
Joy,
can tell.
who the hell was the Wizards' third and fourth best player last season?
We
Do
don't.
you know?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, listen. The first player you can argue was Brad or Russ. The second, like I said, Brad or Russ.
Russ.
The third player, you would have to argue maybe Hashimura or somebody like that. I would say somebody like that.
Wasn't Hashimura
Okay.
coming off the bench?
Right.
No.
No, he was a starter.
No, he was
Someone
starting
else
last
get
year.
their turn, please.
You're talking about a
Yo,
Wizards team
let
that
the hostess
had.
do that, bro.
I understand, but like been doing the same point. Man.
Let the hostess do what they do, bro.
Shut up, Brad.
I just think that when y'all talk about.
Thank you. Okay. You guys keep going back and forth talking about the Wizards from last year when that does not have much to do with what's going on this year. It's a whole new season. Russell Westbrook has been worse this season than he was last year. Talking about who would you rather have, the young supporting cast that he has now with Kuzma and KCP. Well, Bradley Beal's also not healthy right now, so I don't know why we're comparing those two situations. Every single year, what y'all Westbrook fans do is talk about, a new situation. We need a new situation. There's a reason he's been on like 3-4 different teams the past 4 years because you keep jumping from situation to situation to try to make excuses. Oh, he's playing with this coach. Oh, he's got this co-star. Excuse after excuse. You put him in new situations every single year. He continues to disappoint. He can get to the playoffs. Great. He's gotten to the playoffs multiple years. We're getting all this congratulations, all this props for making the playoffs. Participation trophy for the playoffs. Great. I get it. They go home in the first round. Russell Westbrook is inefficient. Russell Westbrook plays poorly. They lose. It's a continuous cycle. And y'all talking about how many point guards better than Russell Westbrook? Definitely 10 point guards better than Russell Westbrook right now. Probably closer to 15. We got a bunch of names up here. Lowe has a whole list of names. There's more names you can add to that are better because they can shoot the ball, they can play make, and they can actually impact winning, and they can actually play well. And you look at basically the point that YC was making earlier about, oh, they don't guard Russell Westbrook, they clog the paint. Like, people are sagging off of Russell Westbrook for a reason. He can't shoot. That's why they're sagging off of Russell Westbrook. The spacing isn't ideal, but Russell Westbrook is the worst shooter on the team. So he contributes to the terrible spacing on the team. So I'm just tired of the excuses. He's still a good player. I'm not saying he's absolutely trash, but he's having a terrible year. He's definitely not a top 10 point guard right now.
Okay, let me ask you this. So would you say, and I'm going to ask you because you weren't here when they were saying what they said. So would you say that Tyrese Maxey and freaking Jalen Brunson and all them, do you think they're better players than Russ this year? Or do you think or do you think they're playing better than Russ? Because it's the difference. Which one?
Specifically with Tyrese Maxey and Jalen Brunson, you can say they're just having a better season.
Thank you. That's all I want.
But guys like Tyrese Halliburton, he's just a better player right now than Russell Westbrook. I made the point before about Lonzo Ball, and people were getting on me about that. Lonzo Ball is better than Russell Westbrook right now.
Yeah,
he plays
but that's
defense.
the thing.
He can shoot. He does everything basically better than Russell Westbrook.
Right, but
Russell Westbrook.
when you say right now, that's where I'm having the issue because again, like I said before, right now, Tyrese Halliburton hasn't been in the league anytime. Okay, so he can be good the first 2 years and then freaking like we don't know. Derrick Rose was amazing, got an MVP and everything else, and then his career went downhill. And nobody can argue that he's had a better career than Russell Westbrook. So
we're not talking about career though. John Morant's in year 3.
The bottom line, what I'm saying is that if you're going to speak on these players, use the right terminology. I'm not saying that Russ having a great year. Listen, everything that y'all are saying, I agree with. He isn't a good shooter. There's no excuse for the stuff that he does, as far as the past few years. But all I'm saying to y'all is to use the right terminology because it's coming off very, very disrespectful. Period.
Really quick. All right, hold up. Really quick. Hold up. Because Mark and Young, I think they had their hands up.
I've been had mine.
So I got to, okay, well, Simple, but you've also spoke already, and I didn't hear from Mark. Right.
Hey,
so
listen, real
Mark
quick.
And Young,
we got
Mark
like 30 in queue.
Simple needs some spaces etiquette. Sorry.
Yeah, so we got like 30
Thank
in
you,
queue.
D.
So
Joy been yelling this whole time. You talk about.
Okay. All right.
Oh.
So we got 30 in queue. All right. If you've spoken, I'm bringing you down. If you have not spoken, you need to speak because I'm gonna bring you down. All right. I'm gonna drop 10 and I'm gonna pull up 10. All right. So it is.
Keep Joy up though. Keep Joy up.
Well, can I finish my point before I get dropped?
Go ahead, bro.
What more could you pass?
Hold on.
But I just would like to know what more could you have to say?
How can you say that to me? But Joy been yelling this whole.
We are going to let Simply.
You said that Russ. No. You said that Russ is trash.
And I'm
What more can you have to say?
Okay, so Simply say what you got to say because I'm dropping you next. All right.
You keep saying I get but like I never got to finish any of my points. So every
dog.
time I tried to,
Simply say what you got to say.
Go ahead,
all
dog.
I gotta
we can
say
rotate
is,
them in.
can we please stop harping on career because then the White would be a top 3 center. It don't got shit to do with right now. It's about they don't got accolades, don't got shit to do right now. It's about this season, this overall season, and he's not better than 20 niggas I named. Facts. Joy, stop yelling at people. I'm good.
All right.
Ain't no facts, child. Ain't no facts. Calm down.
Can I go now? Because main man done. All right,
go ahead, Young. Go ahead.
So basically, before y'all let him go, so we basically saying that if Lonzo Ball was by himself, he would be able to lead a team to a playoff spot. I seen Lonzo Ball a few years by himself, and we were still where we were at until LeBron had to come over. You mean to tell me if Jalen Brunson was by himself the number one player on his team, he would lead them to the playoffs? You mean to tell me if Mike Conley was the number one player by himself, he would lead them to the playoffs? Like, what are we watching here? Is we watching basketball? Or are we just looking at some stuff that we want to
Thank
look at on
you.
YouTube?
Free.
Like, what are we looking at? Like, because Jalen Brunson's having an okay year next to Luka Doncic, that's why he's a better player than Russell Westbrook?
And
Like,
by the
come
way,
on.
Luka can't shoot. By the way.
Like, people saying anything. Y'all got it. That's all I wanted to say.
He shoot better than Russell Westbrook.
Oh, well, he's shooting 31% from three this year. So what does that mean? Oh, okay, next.
Shit better than Russell Westbrook.
Okay, next. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, your facts, boo.
Hey, Mark, I saw you. Oh, I'm sorry. D, are you ready?
I am. You guys. Good evening. Good evening. I was sitting back. I was in the nail salon, and I refuse to let those people hear me go off on y'all. So I wanted to be on my best behavior, and I decided to wait till I was finished. But y'all are not going to sit here and talk about you. You can't keep going back and forth, because if you're talking about how Russell Westbrook is not good, and there's 20 people ahead of him, and you're basing it off of just this season, you're crazy. Because the reason why he's on that team is because he is who he is, and he's a good freaking point guard. Like, you cannot even deny it. Like, the Wizards ain't been to the playoffs in decades. Okay, decades.
Watch it, sis. They
That's
was
a
in the
lie,
playoffs
but
a
all right.
couple years ago now. Watch it. They was in the playoffs a couple years ago
feels
now.
Look, it felt like decades. Ashley, come on, Ash. But anyway,
I'm gonna let you live. Go ahead.
Anyway, so the Wizards were nothing. They were gonna sink just like they did in the first round without Westbrook. So Westbrook got them there. So I'm sorry. I'm driving, so I'm a little bit distracted, but I'm not gonna sit here and let y'all talk about how Westbrook over the court, like triple doubles. The man went out here and got how many triple doubles? Like, y'all just really gonna sit here and get amnesia? You guys are under the influence. You're under the influence of this season. You're under what did Regina call them this morning? ESPN junkies. You've been watching too much TV. You've been watching too much ESPN. You've been watching people slander this man, so you feel like you gotta ride the ride and ride the wave. But put some respect on this man's name. He's came in and showed up, and he's carried teams.
A queen.
And I'm not about to let y'all sit here and tell people that he's 30th in the league at point guards. Like, bye.
A queen.
A whole queen. Y'all just witnessed a whole queen speak. Period.
All right, look, real quick, fellas. If I pulled you up, I need you to put your names up, or I'm gonna drop you. Like,
hands up.
y'all just
Go
like
ahead,
sitting there.
up. Yeah, we
Vinny,
got 36.
Vinny, you've been up here the longest. What's up, bro?
Did you land your hold on, Vinny? Did you land your plane, D?
Yeah, I'm good.
You got it off? You got it off your chest?
I think I got it off.
Got it off? Oh, yeah. Girl. All right. Go, girl. I'm going to drop you real quick, though. I got 35 in queue. All right, Vinny, go ahead. It's on you.
Nah, yeah, after this, y'all could drop me after this. I'll go back to listening. But I was just saying, like, as a Laker fan, it's been pretty hard, pretty fucking, tiring watching Russell Westbrook shoot fucking bricks and miss the fucking rim all fucking season and losing games because of Russell Westbrook and his fucking inefficient ass shooting and the fucking badass spacing that people just want to put on Frank Vogel and the bigs being in the paint, which is fucking bullshit, because in October, fucking Frank Vogel was trying to run a more free-flowing offense in the first place so we could have more shooting for niggas. So that's all I wanted to say. And to the point about the Luka Doncic and Russell Westbrook thing, Luka is shooting better from the field and three-pointer. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. I'm gonna go back to this E&J because this is sports and E&J. You heard?
This is definitely sports and E&J.
Y'all can drop me.
Thanks,
Y'all can drop
Vinny.
me. I appreciate y'all.
All right.
Bro, you drink that Erky jerky?
He got the E&J in the glass.
No.
Nice.
I ain't drinking the Erky jerky. This is just the Erky
Oh,
jerky.
okay. I was
D
about
joined
to
the sports
say,
and coffee.
God damn.
Damn, bro.
You
calling us
the
You know
you calling us the projects, bro?
Excuse me. This is classy. This is
definitely classy.
We ain't drinking
no E&J. We ain't drinking no E&J, okay?
Good cognac, like sports and Hennessy or something. Whatever. All right, thanks, Vinny. Legend, Damo, Corey, I see y'all hands up. Scam, I see your hands up. Go ahead and say what y'all got to say.
Hey, real quick before y'all go. Hey, Mark, you had your hand up a while ago. You done or what's the deal? All right, I'm gonna drop you.
I mean, I'll make mine quick because I know my brother Legend, my brother Lowe's gonna go on this little tirade, so I'm gonna go quick. It's just beyond me how we're talking about Russell Westbrook this season, yet all I'm hearing is people bring up yesteryear MVP seasons to defend why X player is better than him this year. Cool, let's do that. How many players have been a first, second, and third option and consistently underachieve or underperform in playoff series? Because I can't think of more than Russ. Russell Westbrook went from being behind Kevin Durant, both of them collapsing in 2016, to being the player by himself, averaging triple-double 2017, gave him a pass because he had a rookie, Domantas Sabonis. He had an underdeveloped Victor Oladipo, gave him a pass. Then he goes along and loses to a rookie, Donovan Mitchell. Now, if you want to say, oh, PG and Melo didn't show up, cool, blame his teammates. The very next year, loses again. What happened? He tried to target Damian Lillard, end up getting shot out the damn series. Goes to 2020. You can say he had COVID. You could say this hurt, that hurt, whatever. Shot them out of the playoffs, then proceeds to go to the Wizards. Everyone gives him credit for getting them to the playoffs. No one wants to talk about him being inefficient, underperforming, and shooting them out the playoffs. So I don't get how, if we're talking about Russ this year, 20 point guards better than Russ this year, y'all want to use all these details and stuff from last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, but still ignore the context of him being a bum. I'm sorry, that was too extreme. Not a bum, a loser. That's what he is. He's a pro loser. Russell Westbrook has literally bamboozled y'all with triple doubles to
All
forget
right,
that he
what is
loses
this?
every year.
A
Every year
loser,
he goes to
bro.
the playoffs and he
He's a
loses.
loser.
He's a
What is
loser.
this?
Yes, he's a
What is
Certified,
loser.
this?
certified. Y'all pulling up
Is
anybody
he
now, bro.
finished? Please, is
Yeah,
he
he's
finished?
done.
Yeah,
He's
Is
yes,
he
done.
I'll
finished?
finish. I'll
Okay.
finish. No. I'll finish.
Y'all
He's
pulling up anybody.
Oh, you're definitely
Thank you,
finished.
bro.
Yeah,
Get him
he
the heck
pulling
up
up
out of
Okay.
here.
anybody,
Because
bro.
All right. Well,
this
listen,
dude
guys.
just
We
tried
When you
to
can't
say
brush
wrong
tell.
though,
past
We
triple
can't
doubles like
tell.
that was nothing.
He's
Like,
a
what the heck
loser,
is
dog.
wrong with y'all?
why don't you
He's
ask
not a
him what he meant
loser.
by that though?
Okay. All right.
Bruh, I
Let's go to
speak
legends.
English. I know what a loser. You don't. There's no. You don't
Get
have
him
to
the heck up
clarify
out of here.
loser. Like,
How
come
you
on,
want to
bro.
break down the definition of what a loser is? You know what a
Yeah,
loser is?
like
Like
you need
how? What
context on what a loser is.
loser is?
Really?
Like,
What are
come
we
on.
doing?
Could be different for him.
Heck out of here.
When we're
Who
talking
said
about
that? Who
sports,
said that?
when we're
Who
scam,
am I
when we're
talking to?
talking about
Why would you gonna
scam,
kick
when
me?
we're talking about sports, no, but I will. Legend,
Yeah,
what's
Ashley.
up?
Yeah,
Yeah,
What's
big
up?
ass.
Kicky.
What's up, Legend? Welcome to the space, my guy. Go ahead and drop your thoughts on this topic.
Man, this is going to be a very hard pill for some of y'all to swallow.
Uh-oh.
20, no, 20 is a bit of a stretch. Then in and out in the Pacers game. 20 is a bit pill to swallow, but 15 isn't. I think I named like 15 or 16 that I think are comfortably better than Westbrook. A couple of things. Yeah, we are talking about right now. So anybody referencing what happened in 2017 is kind of pointless because we're talking about the player right now. Even if you want to reference what happened last year, it still doesn't matter. His impact on winning wasn't that. It wasn't as significant as many of you all try to make it out to be, especially since they still finished the season with a losing record. And even with losing Westbrook and Bradley Beal missing games, the Wizards right now in the same amount of games have the exact same record that they did last year with the same amount of games. They are literally one game removed from having the same win percentage than the Wizards finished with last year. And mind you, Bradley Beal hasn't played in the past like 10 to 15 games, or only played like 2 or 3 games in the past 15 games. And yet they still are essentially in the same situation with Westbrook. In terms of the players that we're talking about right now, like some of the names that y'all even arguing, I don't understand what's the point of arguing. But in terms of what Westbrook brings to the table today, not what he did yesterday, not what he did last year, not what he certainly not what he did 5 years ago, holds little to no weight in this conversation. What he is doing today, this year, I don't think he's certainly not top 10, and I don't think he's top 15.
Okay, question for you. So, do you think that okay, so let me see how I'm going to craft this. Same way that I asked Michael and Caleb. Do you think that these players are better than Russ, and we're talking about right now, or just having a better year? Like, do you think that Russ would have performed this exact same
Where
way
they're
on a
playing
different team?
better basketball. They're playing better basketball.
I'm
I think
asking Legend. I'm not
no, I
asking
think
you.
I think every single last player I
Damn,
named
my
are
bad.
better basketball players.
No. I'm not talking about your list. What I'm asking is, do you think, as far as the Lakers go, do you think that he would perform the same way on a different team than this year?
He probably would perform better.
Okay, so if you can admit that, then the next thing, because I respect that, the next thing I want to ask you, do you think that these players are playing better than him? What first I need to ask, what's your list?
It's up there. Caleb, he linked it, but I'll say it again. These players I just think are better basketball players. I think Harden. I don't know how people feel about Harden or not, but if you do have him point guard, Harden, Holiday, Garland, Irving, Ball, Van Vliet, Young, Halliburton, CP3, Curry, Morant, Ja. And this is excuse me. I want to say preface it with healthy as well. Both
Legend,
Murrays.
really quick, Legend.
Okay.
Does this have something to do with them being because of their environment?
No, I think
being
they
in
are.
better positions
No,
to
these
really be able
players
to play
are.
the way they are.
They are better basketball players.
Okay,
and you're saying
I'm
better
listening. Hold on,
basketball
Joy.
players as in career or just
Hold
now?
on, Joy.
I'm
He's
talking about
saying
right
right
now.
now. He's
Right
saying
I'm
now.
right
pretty sure
now.
he's talking about right now.
Yeah,
I
he's
don't
talking
know
about
why
right
we keep
now.
talking.
Yeah,
I don't know why
hey, listen,
Darius Garland's name
nobody
would
in
come up
here
in
is talking
career.
historically. We're not talking about
No,
like stats, like historically for us, right? We're talking about
we're talking about
right
right
now,
now.
just right now. Okay, go
Yeah,
ahead.
because
Morant, Doncic, both Murrays, and I'm talking about Jamal and what's my man name in San Antonio? That other Murray, DeJounte, Lillard, and De'Aaron Fox. If we just talking about strictly what they bring to the table, how they impact the game, the pros and cons to their games, all those players right now, especially if they're healthy, right now are just better than Russ.
Now, how long do you think that's been the case? Is this the first year that all these players are better than Russ, or do you how long has this been the case for you?
Luka been better for a little
Half of
minute.
these names have been better than Russ for at least a year or two. Some of them obviously are having the last year and a half of their careers have been elevating to this point.
Okay.
But when Westbrook goes out like what he did last year with the Washington Wizards, impressive. But not so impressive that I'm going to forget about the beginning part of the season where he was really really bad, and B, I'm not moved by the triple double arguments that many people kind of just stand on. It's
Yeah.
impressive, but what does it do in terms of moving the goalposts for them to win ball games? And in many situations, the rebounds that he records aren't as impactful as many people try to make them out to be. And even though he
Well, can
records
I
a
ask you
lot
a
of
question?
assists, even when he records a lot of assists, he also records a lot of turnovers at a historic rate. And even if he scores a lot of points, he's also very inefficient in doing so as well. So every positive he does is provided with a negative that comes along with it. And many of those negatives are, again, at a historic rate. Not just it's somewhat negative. It's a historically bad attribute to his game.
Do you think that Fred
Low.
VanVleet is better than Russ as far as
Yes, right
how long?
now.
No, I'm saying
Pretty
how
fucking
long has he been
clearly.
better than Russ?
Like this year, he's been better than Russ. And even leading up to this year, Fred VanVleet, if you've been watching him, he's had the trajectory of being better than Russ. Like last year, he was a borderline 20-point scorer last year, doing it on very efficient numbers. And I'm looking at it. He was averaging 19.6 points last year. And
Yeah,
then
but I'm saying he was last year. He was pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie.
So
no, but I'm saying
I
the
watched the
relatively
Raptors.
trajectory of doing it, he definitely had the trajectory last year to
I
get to
watched
this
the
point.
Raptors, and I love Fred VanVleet. But last year, you cannot tell me that you can argue that he was better than Russ last year. That's just not
I'll
fair.
say it again. He had the
And
trajectory. He had the
yeah,
trajectory
no,
of doing so.
I
I'm not
get
saying he
that.
Low.
was.
But
Why
I'm
isn't
just saying in
SGA or
general,
Conley on this
he can
list?
have the trajectory. But I'm saying in general,
I forgot about SGA.
he's not. Darius Garland wasn't before
And
this
Mike
year.
Conley. I'm not gonna lie.
So okay, got it. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You have 15 guys here. So
It
Holiday
really could
wasn't
be
better
18.
than Holiday wasn't better than Russ up to last year. Garland
I
He
disagree
wasn't.
with
was.
that. I
He was
disagree with
better
that.
than. I
No, he
love
wasn't.
I
Russ.
think
Holiday was just better. He was better at basketball.
Holiday, Garland, Van Vliet, Lonzo. Who else is on
no
here?
Lamelo.
Hey,
Halliburton.
somebody said
Wait,
Lonzo
wait, wait,
ball.
wait, 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 wait. What I'm saying is this: I just named 5 guys that I could completely take off. Like, for example, and I understand it's not a last year argument, but again, you have to factor in that it's a bad fit for him, and you admitted that he would be performing better on a different team. So I just named 5 guards that he was better than last year, which means that you can easily put him in your top 15, not top 20, not top 25. You're top 15 easily. That's simple.
But one of the names that you named, like a few of the names I just disagree with, like Drew Holiday, I believe was better than you last year.
He
Like
wasn't though.
undeniably, I think Drew Holiday was better than you
Yes,
last year.
he was though.
Holiday has never had the pressure like Russ has. He's never had the responsibility that Russ has and succeeded at that. For example, if you would have put him on the Wizards last year, they would not have done crap. Nothing.
We're talking about this
Same
year.
for
You
Though.
put
Garland.
Russ.
But
Same
If
for
you
wait,
put
I
Russ
want
on the
Same for
because we
bus,
Lonzo
keep
they
Ball.
don't.
we keep
Why are
it's
we
not, but
valuing?
it's not Lonzo, it's not Lonzo, it's LaMelo, and B, we keep highlighting this thing about Washington. Washington last year again is on pace to do the exact same thing they're doing this year. They're on the exact
I
same
don't think
win
that's
pace.
a fair
So
argument, Lo, because they
I'm
weren't
not I'm
playing.
not
They
I'm not
weren't
saying
playing with it.
I don't even want to make the
The
Washington Wizards
better
argument in the first place. But the point,
The better
just
argument is just why are we valuing raising a team that had, yes, they had a bunch of G League players, yes, what Russ did towards the end of the season was really impressive. I love Russ. I think Russ used to be really good. But why is that more valuable than being an instrumental team, an instrumental part to a championship team?
Exactly, and we
Isn't
talk about
isn't the
Russell Westbrook being in an unfavorable situation right now. That's because he has no skills in his game to allow him to scale up next to a player like LeBron James. He has no off-ball ability.
right
He's not a good
now?
defender anymore. He can't shoot. So when you talk about him being on these great teams, he's gonna be in an unfavorable situation because the favorable situation for him is a bad team, and that's just not
So
as
what does he
valuable.
do? What does he do good? What does he
He's
do right?
nothing right now.
he puts a lot of
on-ball
penetration.
I
facilitator.
can't understand everybody at
Yeah,
one
go ahead,
time.
Hoopin.
He's
You got it.
I was gonna say
driver.
he's
Doesn't
very
finish,
good
though.
when he's an aggressive on ball playmaker dominating every possession. But to that point, I don't think I think his 2017 self, I think his past self was good enough to do this, but I don't think it's to the point where you can give him the ball every possession and expect to get a championship level offense. It's just not going to happen anymore.
Hey, real quick, Corey and Uncle Sola, they have their hands up. Let me go ahead and hear what y'all got to say. Jump into the conversation. JC as well. I didn't know if you wanted to go ahead and speak.
Being a Lakers fan, like when it comes to Russ and hearing the arguments that I'm hearing, like it's a case to where two things can be true at one time. And like the way I said, nobody's necessarily wrong because like Russ is in a bad predicament, like he's in a bad situation. But also he's been playing bad at the same time. That's for one. But the second point I wanted to make, and I'm gonna go ahead and head up out of here. Like when I left out of here like an hour and a half ago, y'all was getting y'all lists together for 10 point guards better than Russ. At what point did it become 20 point guards better
When it
than
became obvious that it was an argument. Like,
Yeah,
I thought
somebody said that they could add 10 more. And who was it that said that? Was it Young? Oh, no, it wasn't Young. It was one of the other guys said that he could name 10 more on top of Mark's initial list.
Wow.
I disagree with the 20 though. Let's be clear. I think it's 15, but 20 is 20
you think 20 is crazy? I don't agree with it.
I know, but I said he's in between 20 and 15. I mean 15 and 20. But I don't think because even when he was naming his 20,
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, when he was naming
Unless
his
you're saying,
20,
like, Jalen
three of them were getting kind of like iffy when he was getting
And I
to the
can
20.
respect that. I
think
that.
Jalen Brunson better low key and SGA
All
and
right,
Conley.
all right, next.
Jalen
I'm not gonna
Brunson.
do this.
But
I'm not gonna do this.
is Brunson a point? Is he even a point guard? Because if we count Luka,
Brunson is definitely a point. Yeah, Brunson plays point for sure.
I know, but I'm
I'm
saying,
not
but
gonna keep playing
if we
this
count
game.
Luka
Who's
as a
Jalen
point,
Brunson?
then
This is insane. Honestly, it is.
Brunson plays a bunch of
All I'm
big
saying,
minutes.
all
He
I'm
plays
saying
with
is
the
if you put
second unit.
if you let Jalen Brunson be a secondary creator for LeBron, we're not having any offensive problems. I can tell you that right now.
Like
Oh,
you
my
keep
Lord.
saying situation, this situation,
Because he can
that,
actually shoot and play off the ball.
Jalen Brunson being better than Russ is insane. And if you think otherwise,
if I'm building a championship team,
can I
give me
just
the guy
ask
that
you a
can actually play
question?
next to
Wait,
other stars.
HV, can I ask Joy a question? And what championship?
Ask her a question, Joy answer, and then I'm gonna get to Uncle and then Zach because they got their hands up.
And what championship situation is Russ adding a level of value to where he's top 10?
Well, let's ask KD. He made to the finals with them. He's made to the Western
2016?
Conference Finals.
Bro, that was
Oh
literally a decade ago.
No. Nobody raises their voices at me, so you can calm down.
I was dead
Now
ass
go ahead.
6 years old when
Go
that
ahead and say
happened.
what you're gonna say.
I was dead ass 6 years old when that happened. You're gonna have to give me something a little bit more
Okay,
recent.
well that's your problem, not mine, honey. Do your research then.
Is it a
No,
current ranking or is it a
it's not that I
2016
didn't do my
ranking? What am I
research. It's
missing?
that we're talking about
Okay,
right now, and you're
again,
bringing
I
up
cannot understand.
2012.
All it is gibberish when both of y'all talk at the same time.
Is it a 2016 ranking or is it a 2022 ranking?
Well, he asked me a question about championship. I just told him what he's done.
He's talking about right now.
I'm talking about like right now, babe.
Okay, wait. Am I talking to whoever this? Who is this? Hoop venue? Am I talking to Hoop venue or am I talking to Eli? Which one?
Open discussion.
Neptune. Yeah,
who?
Just answer the question. Neptune.
Exactly. Like I don't need. He's fine. He's a grown man. He doesn't need a tag team guy to come in. Now, what were you saying?
In 2022, not 2012, when I was 6 years old, in what situation is Russell Westbrook adding championship level value to where he's top 10? Like a team that actually has a chance to win a title.
Well, Eli, guess what? I never said that he was top 10. What I said was I'm in here because
top 20, even top 15.
Whoa. I was making a skit for my Instagram page, and Ashley texted.
Okay, hold up. Let's stick to the talking points. Let's answer the questions, right?
Right. No, what I was saying was this. Ashley texted me and said that there was people in this space saying that 20 point guards are better than Russ. That's when I came in. I didn't come on here to say that Russ was a top 10 point guard. I never came here to say that crap. So stick to the topic, which is 20 point guards are better than Russell Westbrook.
Okay, so in what championship situation, a team that actually has a chance to win the title, is Russ adding more value than Jalen Brunson?
Okay, so again, what do you? Okay, so let me ask you this: what does Jalen Brunson bring to a championship team? And when have you ever seen like spotlights of him doing that to convince you that he would do that on a championship team? What has he done so well for you to do that?
Jalen Brunson is a neutral defender. He's not bleeding value on defense. He's a good secondary playmaker, and he's one of the best catch and shoot 3-point shooters in the entire league. Who also has like minutes as a primary creator. That scales well on good teams. That's something Russ can't fucking do.
Oh, okay. Well, again, that's cute, but Russ is a better scorer. He's a better rebounder. He's a better.
Is he a better scorer?
He is a better scorer than, like I said. This is what we're not going to do.
19 points per game on -5 efficiency, not moving me.
What we're doing is we're using this year to bash Russ and say that these players, he's not better than Russ.
He was less efficient than Ben Wallace last season.
He's having a better season, but that does not mean that he's a better player than Russ. I'm not gonna keep.
There's a lot of good things you can say about Russ.
Brunson has not done enough in his career for you to argue that. So I get you're 12 years old, but come again.
On the Wizards
maybe
season,
you can't
he was
do
less
math,
efficient than Ben Wallace too.
2012,
he's just not a good scorer anymore.
I understand that you're 12 years old and you were not around to see what Russ did. Again, like I said before,
I'm literally the biggest Russ fan on this app. I just don't ride his dick. I know that he sucks now.
Oh, Ashley, I'm not doing this.
I'm not saying.
I'm not.
No, did you mute everybody or was that Mark? Oh,
that was me.
All right, look, we got to get through these hands real quick. Uncle Zay, I know y'all got your hands up, and if you've already spoke, I'm going to go ahead and drop you. I got like 46 in queue, yo, so.
All right.
Appreciate you, thank you. Go ahead, Uncle and Zay.
Y'all hear me?
Yeah, you good.
All right. I don't know if I'm gonna say Brunson is a better player right now than Russ. I've tried to watch as many Lakers games as I can because I'm a huge LeBron fan, but like he's kind of been a detriment to the team, like as a whole. And I think the argument's kind of being clouded because a lot of it is like what he's done in the past and not really what he's doing right now. And right now he's not playing well. He's not playing good basketball right now. You look at the numbers, and if you glance at it, if you're stat watching, you're like, oh, he's not doing too bad. You know, he's averaging 18, 7, and 7, I think it is. Which, if you're looking from the outside, like, yeah, that's decent. Those are good numbers. But if you watch the games, he's shooting terribly. He's turning the ball over, making forced errors or unforced errors. I mean, and it's just like he does stuff, and it's like it's not good basketball. It's not winning basketball. It's not high IQ basketball. I don't personally think there's 20 point guards better than him, but whoever's list that is, I think it's Legend. I would take all those point guards right now over Russ.
Then that's the main thing that we're talking about here. Thank you, Zay. Folks think that there are 15 to 20 point guards better than Russell Westbrook right now. So you can make your point to that when you have your turn to speak. Thanks, Zay. I'm gonna drop you down, okay?
All right, cool.
Appreciate you.
No doubt.
Whoever had their hand up, y'all can go ahead next. Uncle, I think you next, and then DJ Stevo, and then New Dawn Image, Kush. Y'all can go ahead and do y'all thing. Anybody?
I'll go ahead. You said Uncle, so Uncle, go ahead. I'll go after you.
Can you guys hear me? Hello?
Yeah, you good.
Joy, I've said this like twice under your tweet, probably way too many times. You're too smart to be a fan of Russell Westbrook. Way too smart.
Oh no.
This
Uncle,
guy.
what did you do?
Let him get it. Let him get off. Go ahead, Uncle.
This dude is one of the most unintelligent superstars I've ever watched. This guy is really, really unintelligent. I like watching press conferences, like watch superstars after a game, after a win, after a loss. The way this guy answers questions are terrible. It's like he never has his self-awareness is poor. Even on a bad day, when he's playing so bad, you ask this guy, what do you think you can do to improve? He says things like, "Oh, I got 3 kids in the house. I have to go back to, I have to go back to my house. I got 3 kids, and there's nothing to worry about." They're booing you on the court. There's a lot of things to worry about.
Nothing to do with the topic, but okay.
I mean, I understand, but you guys already talked about like every basic thing there is to talk about. He's not just playing terrible. I think playing on the Lakers is just different, but he's just not playing terrible this year. He's always been playing terrible. He's made terrible passes all his career. He's always been playing terrible, Joe. You know that, because that's where you're wrong. He's always been playing terrible. There's a bigger microscope on the Lakers in LA. Everybody can see what he's doing right now. Nobody wants him on their team because nobody wants to pay 44, 45 million for that kind of player. And I don't think there's 20 players better than Ross, maybe 15. But then, stop defending him. That's just what I would need to tell you, Joyce. Stop defending the guy. It's terrible.
Uncle, listen, Uncle.
Wait a minute, Uncle. You can't come up here and are there 15 to 20 point guards better than Russell Westbrook right now?
I said not 20, 15.
Okay. All right. So that's a yes. You believe there are 15, at least 15, better than him right now. Got it. Respect. Okay. DCP, JC, I see y'all hands up. DJ Steve, my bad. I think you are next, my guy. Yes.
Oh, all right, bet. Oh, appreciate you for having me speak for sure. The entire Westbrook situation is honestly just unfortunate. I'm a big Westbrook fan, but looking at what's going on right now, the entire situation with the Lakers, and I think a lot of Westbrook fans, after what he did last year, because what he did in the Wizards last year when people pretty much wrote him off, it was good to see him, win Player of the Month, break the triple-double record. It looked as if, like, Westbrook was finally in a way of, like, going on a track to where, this guy is actually going to, be a contribution to the Lakers. But this year, we all see it right now, it's not working at all. So what we're seeing from this year, we got to go by what's going on from this year. He looks shot athletically. He is not a great on-ball defender right now. And you can say right now the Lakers situation is not helping him, and I totally agree to that. It's not just him. But when you look at all the other point guards that are in the league right now, what they do, especially in today's game, I think Eli brought up a good point. When you have a playmaker that can go ahead and get you a shot and can space the floor, I think one of the better playmakers or better guards in today's game, like Kyrie Irving, who was with LeBron James, he was able to eat with LeBron James because he's able to play off ball and be able to space the floor and also, just help out that offense. So when you look at those other point guards in today's game right now, you got to take that into effect as well. So when I look at Lowe's list, I don't think that you could probably convince me that there's 20 point guards. You could probably say like maybe 15, 16, but I think that the fact that we're talking about 15 point guards that are better than Westbrook right now just lets you know that right now he's not where he needs to be. And I think that honestly, the Lakers could get any of these guards on this list, they'd be in a way better situation. But I just don't see how you can really. I can see if you root for Westbrook. That's your guy. I get it. People got who they want to root for, but I mean, he hasn't really done a great job for you to really defend him for what he's done this year, in my opinion.
Can I respond to that, Ashley?
Go ahead.
Okay, so again, this is not me defending and dying on the Russell Westbrook is the best point guard in the league. I'm not saying any of that. What I'm saying is I'm speaking directly to people who believe there's 20 point guards better. The people, the nutcases that believe that Jalen Brunson or Tyrese Maxey is better than him. That's who I'm speaking to. That's why I came in here. I'm not coming in here to defend his play this year. I think this is the worst I've ever seen him play. I'm not coming here. I'm coming in here to defend him against any disrespect that I hear.
I feel that.
Now,
go ahead.
Yeah, so it's not even about, oh, let me defend versus honor. It's not about that. I just don't tolerate disrespect. Plain and simple.
Okay, I understand that. Can I ask you, for instance, when people say like other point guards like Tyrese Maxey, I know Eli brought up Jalen Brunson. Why would you say Westbrook, when you say Westbrook is clearly better than him because you think that there's not 20 point guards better than Westbrook, why would you say Westbrook is better? And are you going from this season or are you going just in general with what Westbrook can do if he's clearly healthy?
So this is what I'm going to say. A lot of people's arguments are flawed because they think that he has declined so much from last year that he's just this new, the point guard he is now, he's a shell of himself. He's not. We've seen what Russ was last year. We've seen it this year. But guess who was on the court? LeBron James or AD. And he freaking scored 30 points in one half and tied Kobe's record. So the thing is like, y'all can say what y'all want to say, but all I need to see is little inklings like that to know that he's still there. It is a bad fit. And I'm not going to allow people to be victims of the moment and say, oh, well, this year, like, yes, Tyrese, and they've had a better season than the rest. I can understand that. Yeah. But to say that they're better players, that's where I draw the line. That's disrespect on any level, and I just don't want to hear it. Period.
I mean, again, the whole Westbrook situation, it's been talked about since. I'll just leave it at this, and you can go ahead and bring someone else up. I think that when we talk about, just like I said, players being better than other guys, you got to look at what the guard position is going to be able to do, especially in today's game. So I just look at, like, if Westbrook had his own team like he did in Washington, he probably would put up better numbers. He'd probably be, let's say, maybe more efficient if the team was built around him. Because we saw that. I'm not going to lie. I made a whole video about that boy when he was going crazy back in April. He was going crazy. But I do think that right now, with the addition of LeBron and AD, has played a factor. But Westbrook's play, as more importantly, has not been up to par to what we know Westbrook to be. And when we talk about these guards in today's game, I know you talked about Jrue Holiday. Like, Jrue Holiday's never had to deal with the role and the pressure of being the main guy. I feel that. But he does what you need a guard to do in today's game, which is defend at a high level and also create your own shot. And you can talk about all the different point guards and guards, what they can do. But like I said before, in today's game right now, if I had to pick guards who I would pair up with LeBron or just who I'm ranking, Westbrook right now he's just not there. And maybe, hopefully he'll change it.
All right, hold on 1 second. Let me just reset the room. Welcome to everybody who has come here. This is basically sports and Hennessy at this point. Okay, we are talking if there are 15 to 20 point guards better than Russell Westbrook right now. We have some hands. If you've already spoken, I gotta drop you down. Make sure that you follow me and my co-host Mark Gunnels, and also the fiery Miss Joy D'Angelo here. She's not off y'all necks when it comes to Russell Westbrook. As y'all can see, it's not happening. Slim is not backing down. So make sure you follow all of us. I run these spaces all the time, pretty much like the Twitter space queen. You can dub me that. I'm pretty dope. JC, DCP, all y'all see y'all got hands up. Go ahead and jump in, man.
I just want to start off with saying, like, all the slander Russ is getting for the Lakers being inept, it's not on him. It's a bad fit. That's what I want to start off by saying. I personally think there's 15 point guards that are better than Russell Westbrook right now. But I think that could change, like if Russell Westbrook was on a different team. But I think Kyrie Irving's better, Steph Curry, Damian Lillard, Luka Doncic, James Harden, Fred VanVleet, Darius Garland, John Morant, Trae Young, LaMelo Ball, and a few others, like Drew Holiday, for example, are better than Russell Westbrook. I don't think Jalen Brunson is better than Russell Westbrook, but I think he's a better fit for the Lakers because he could shoot the ball and he could play off the ball better than Russell Westbrook can. He's also a better defender right now. Yeah, that's all I really got to say right now.
So
I don't have an issue with what he said.
Can I go next?
Appreciate that. Yeah, go ahead.
So I think everybody is flawed in this question because we playing in the age of positionless basketball. So you're talking about point guards that are not true points. You can't really say that Bronson is playing well. Oh, yes, because he has Luka Doncic next to him. You can't say Maxey because he got James Harden next to him.
Oh, yes,
They're not asked to do what the Lakers. If Russell Westbrook had a 2-guard next to him, that was LeBron James that could shoot 40%. People can't play off him. Now, I'm not defending Russell Westbrook. Has he been bad? Yes.
Yes, he has.
But so has Anthony Davis.
Yes. So PJ Tucker's better than AD, I guess, then, right?
So has
PJ's been great.
What people's argument is. So you can't put the Lakers in this box because the Lakers are a bad team. I've tried to argue all this that they are a bad team, and it starts from the head coaching, the system. Somebody said it earlier. Yes, they play a old school three man kind of weave type offense. They need to pay more of a 4-out, 5-out. It works. That 3-man weave or whatever they do works when you only have 2 dominant guys and 3 shooters. That works when you have on-ball defenders like they did in the past. But you could kind of tell when they had Dennis Schroeder that having a Russ-type player probably isn't going to work. You're going to need to you either got to move LeBron to point and go get some shooters around him and have AD, or what you got to do is you got to get a point guard that can shoot. So yes, Bronson and all them boys will be good because they are shooters. Westbrook isn't a shooter. Now, I will say this about Westbrook. His IQ is down. Now, last night, this is my last point. Last night, there was 2 examples of where I said LeBron James has a better sense of what to do with the ball in his hand than Russell Westbrook. What Ty Lue kept doing was he was bringing the center to check either LeBron James or Russ. When it happened to LeBron James in the second quarter, what LeBron noticed was, the center's here. He's up at the 3-point line, but he's giving me space to shoot. Let me back up. So he would back all the way up to the doggone half-court line, and he will go full speed right at him because he knew the man couldn't just stand there. He got to back up, or he got to shift. He's got to move, and it's either going to put him in foul or he's going to go right past him. The same thing happened with Zubac. They ran on that run because Zubac kept going on them. And then what Russ wouldn't do, and I think this is just a predicate of just throughout the years, he's not confident in his shot. He's not confident in his layup. It's in his head. So what he does is he does this kind of crab dribble where he kind of slows the dribble up. And I'm like, no, Russ, eat the space. Just eat it. I know you don't want to shoot. No, but eat that. Move forward. Don't back up or keep dribbling. Just move forward. If you keep moving forward at either a moderate speed or full speed, he has to back up. That's the only thing that I think he should do. Now, should he learn how to shoot? Yes, man. He reminds me a lot of AI. I'm a big AI fan. But I feel like his career is going the way of AI. He's going to be a great Hall of Fame
player. But I wish he had an opportunity to be on a team that he can realize that he might need to be the third man or the third man or man off the bench, like Melo is, playing 20, 30 minutes with a second unit at this point on a championship caliber team. Not somebody not a bad team. I'm talking about if Russ was on
the Clippers.
Yes, that he's a backup on the Clippers, or he's a even if he was, like they said, they discussed it with the Lakers. I truly believe that the Lakers actually had a conversation with him. I don't care that he's been, and stop talking about his $44 million. He got that $44 million because he was an MVP, and it's a 5-year.
You're a king. I love you.
Let's stop with the contracts talk. These contracts are just so crazy. John Wall got that contract, and everybody's like, it's the worst contract in the world. It wasn't the worst contract in the world when he signed it because he was an all-star.
Yeah, right.
So you can't say that those contracts, just like, watch, everybody's going to say, if CP3 don't win the championship this year, that extension that he got for 3 years, by next year is going to be a bad contract. Unless they win a championship. It's going to be a terrible contract because you're paying a 20-year vet that much money. Stop looking at the contracts, people. Let's get out of that contract talk. Let's get out of all that other stuff. Could he be better? Yes. But is this all his fault? No. And my last point is, no, there's not 15 or even, I don't even think there's even 10 true point guards. This is what I talk about. True point guards better than Russ. If you're talking about a true point, no, there's not.
Is Russ a true point?
If we're talking about true point,
yes, he is a true point because he is a true point because he doesn't shoot. Most point guards back in the day.
He doesn't shoot?
No, you're talking about back in the day, bro. This is 2022, bro.
He's a combo.
Can I go? Because I have my hand up.
Most elite point guards today are combo guards.
Yeah, most of the time.
Can I go, please?
Yeah, because DCP had his hand up for quite some time, and then I'm going to go to Space Boy and JC.
Okay, what up, Ashley? What up, Mark? What up, Joy? I've been
listening.
How are you? This
Thanks
is
for
a very...
club, man.
What's up, my boy?
Very entertaining Friday night space. I got my popcorn ready, just listening to you guys. Joy is always pure jokes. I know she's a Westbrook stan. I know that. But like, come on.
Hey, before you go real quick, I was gonna tell Joy, hey, you getting packed up on these Twitter streets. I'm seeing a lot of tweets about you, Joy. You getting packed up.
Hey, Mark, screw them. You know good and well I don't care about none of that. But hey, listen, on my timeline, it's completely opposite. People saying I'm packing other people out. So I mean, it is what it is. It's basketball. I don't freaking
All right, go ahead, DCP. Go ahead, DCP.
Listen,
go ahead, bro.
Thank you, sir.
I brought Joy on for a reason because she's going to die on this Russ Hill, y'all.
Yes.
She's dying there.
Yeah, she don't mind being the villain. I like that.
Facts. I don't. And one more thing, really fast. If I gotta get packed up and rest, then so freaking be it.
You better tweet Russ and let him know how hard you're going for him. But yeah,
hey, he knows exactly who I am. Exactly.
I seen Legend got the post with 20 point guards, and I'm here to say there's probably more. Like, we're missing guys.
All right.
Like, after
Shai
Gilgeous
and Ben Let him go.
After I seen Reggie Jackson cross Russ up, and Russ is kicking his foot out, doing all that type of shit, stuff I ain't seen since junior high school. We got to put Reggie over top of. We got to put Reggie. We got to put Maxey. We got to put Brunson. These guys are skilled basketball players. Russ needs to get into the lab and work on his game, because when he said something about pure point guards or back in the day, it's 2022. You know what I'm saying? We can't be having no one-dimensional point guards that don't got a floater game. You can't make a layup. You can't shoot a mid-range. You can't shoot a three. You're playing with LeBron James. You can't figure out how to be effective. Like, come on. What are we doing here? Russ came in the league with D. Rose, Ricky Rubio, John Wall. 3 point guards that all came in around the same time as him. And all them dudes adapted to their game. They all came in there pure slashers. Ricky Rubio is a pure playmaker. Ricky Rubio got a 3-ball now. You know what I'm saying? John Wall can hit a mid-range. D. Rose, he can hit a mid-range. He can hit threes. Like, these guys are getting into the lab, and they're adding to their game. Russ seemed like he's just cool being that athletic freak. But when you hit 30-plus years old, you got to rely on skills, craftiness, like different stuff like that. And that's Rusty seems like he's just, I don't know, he don't got the right mind state. He's just a cocky guy or something, bro. I don't know. He feels like he can just rely on his athleticism, and like it's not working this year. So this year there is probably more than 20 point guards in the league, or 20 guards, however you want to say, that are better than Russ. Like Russ, I don't know, bro. It's gonna be worse next year. You can't put him on a team and he's gonna flourish trying to play the play style that he played. Even last year, he wasn't going crazy for the Wizards. He played ass most of the year and turned it on after the All-Star break, where he had Bradley Beal still going crazy. The last 12 games of the season, Bradley Beal had 30 plus 10 of those games. So you know what I'm saying? Like Russ never carried them to the playoffs or nothing like that. Like Beal was balling. They had role players that were playing at a high level. Rui Hachimura. They brought in Gary Bird. Like they had guys that were doing their thing. So it's not just like Russ carried them to the playoffs. They were the 10th seed and made it into the play-in and then got swept. So like I'm not really trying to hear like Russ was like a superhero last year. Like he was a very average point guard. Guys like Maxey, these guys are skilled basketball players. Like Maxey is a baller. He's been a baller since college. You know what I'm saying? Like Brunson is a baller.
Hey,
Man.
hey,
Like these guys
DCP,
got
one
real
question
game.
real quick. One question real quick,
That's what, and
DCP.
that's
One
what
name
me
we
and
haven't
Josh
Yes,
mentioned
sir.
yet.
Yes, sir.
One name
Hey,
we
real
haven't
quick.
mentioned yet. Would you put Anthony Simons over Westbrook right now?
Oh my
Of
god!
course.
Please say yes.
Oh
Please
my
say
god!
yes.
100%.
All right.
100%.
What is
Hey,
this?
Bro, you
Josh.
niggas
Hey,
are
Man,
Josh.
funny.
like
What are we
Ish
doing?
Smith came in and was
Alrighty, really quick. Let me go on mute. DCP, go ahead and land your plane. I see Josh, you coming off of
I
mute, bro, so you
cannot
can
with
go
this.
ahead and talk after. Y'all are wild.
I should have stayed off of this crap.
Go ahead and land your plane, DCP, and then I'm kicking it to Josh. You can unmute yourself, bro.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I'm a Laker fan. I've watched every Laker game this year. Like I didn't know Russell Westbrook had this many fans, honestly. And like I was scared coming into this season, having to watch Russell Westbrook every game, and it's just been as frustrating as I thought it would be. I'm just ready for the divorce. Hopefully, all you guys that are Russ stands, you can have fun cheering for Indiana or one of them super midi teams that we're talking about, because ain't nobody that's in title contention is picking up this nigga.
Hey,
Like,
DCP. How about you worry about about Anthony Davis with glass bones and paper skin? Okay, how about you worry about him? Okay, because he cannot stay healthy. So, as long as he's playing for y'all franchise, y'all will forever be losers. Period.
Go ahead, Josh. I'm kicking it to you, and then I'm kicking it to you, JC.
All right, how y'all doing, Ashley, Mark, and Joy?
Good.
I just want to say hi to y'all. All right. First,
I'm good, bro. We chilling, man. I'm sipping some cognac right now.
All right. Sip that, big dog. Sip that. So look, I looked at Legend's list, and Legend, I'm a fan of you. I watch you on Agent on YouTube. This list is like 1,000% complete dog shit. You put 20 point guards, and you said all of them are better than Russell Westbrook. As a Russell Westbrook stan, like I admit it, y'all gonna attack me on Twitter. There are only, like, I'm gonna be genuine too. I'm gonna be honest. There are only 7 players on this list better than Westbrook. And then let's say you switch Westbrook with Ja Morant right now, like you switch teams, the Lakers are not better. Like the Lakers team is just ass. If you take LeBron and AD off that team is the worst team in the league. Who do the Lakers have? Just a Ross Mello?
That's a
Like,
fact.
like people just acting like it's all Russell Westbrook's fault. Like y'all gotta stop with this. Yeah, he's having a bad year. Like that happens. He's on a team that's completely dog shit. Like who else is on that team? Y'all just expecting him to just go out in his his MVP season, just average a triple double every game. He can't do that.
They think he's gonna be always step above the rim. That's why.
Can I respond to the question he's asking me?
Go ahead, Legend.
I'm gonna try to be as respectful as possible.
Go ahead. No, like just say what you gotta say. I'm listening.
Your arguments are still not stacking up to what we're saying. No one is making an argument about he has to do what he did with his triple double season. No one is. We can even remove what's going on right now in this year. As the basketball player, what I am witnessing, forget wins and losses.
All right.
As the basketball player that I'm witnessing from Russell Westbrook this year, he's not as good as the other players ahead of him. And when you say that there's only 7, I'm sorry, that is an idiotic argument. That's a very rudimentary, elementary. It sounds like a very casual argument you're making, because last year he was not a top 5 or 7 point guard in the NBA. So when we're making these arguments and y'all are watching Westbrook play ball, again, forget the wins and losses. When you're telling me someone who is turning the ball over 4 times a game, who's not playing, who's giving you little to no effort defensively, who cannot space out the floor, even when he has this proper floor spacing, like the other gentleman said before, he's not attacking the space that is needed so the offense can flow. He's shooting 67% from the free throw line. He's basically inept when he doesn't have the ball in his hands. Bro, there's too many other players in the NBA that provides 18 to 20 points on better efficiency and better defense while also giving you 7 assists or more a game. There's just too many of them.
So what are the other
wait, talk about. Let me. Okay.
Go ahead, Josh.
You said there are other players who can average 20 and still get 7 assists. Who do you want Russell to pass the ball to, like on the current Lakers squad, besides AD and LeBron?
Bro, if the argument, well, I'm gonna answer to you, but if the argument has been that Russell Westbrook has been able to carry bad teams, allegedly he's been doing that for the past 3 or 4 years now, right? So if he's been able to record that many assists, it doesn't matter anyway. And B, bro, y'all are acting as if like Malik Monk hasn't been shooting 40+% from 3 in the past month and a half of basketball. Y'all are acting as if like he still hasn't played alongside LeBron James for the past month or 2 of basketball. Y'all are acting as if like he has not played with a role man or somebody who can just knock down a corner shot outside of you and Malik Monk. This idea that he's passing to players and they're just not getting assists because they're missing shots is dumb. Y'all are making bad arguments.
So
even if I were to bump it up to 10 assists, I'm still taking players who can provide 18 to 20 points, 7 assists, because you know why? Because they're going to shoot more efficiently. They're not going to turn the ball over as much, and they're going to give me better defense.
So you're saying, like, let's just take one player from your list, right? Let's use Ja Morant, an MVP caliber player. I am fully aware that Ja Morant is, like, right now a better player than Russell Westbrook. Are you saying that if you switch those two out right now, the Lakers, like what do you think the Lakers are right now?
They get way better.
Bro, wait, but let me, again, I'll reiterate it because you have a hard time listening. I'm not talking about wins and losses. Opinion on that. I'm not talking about wins and losses. I'm talking about the player. I'm not talking about if they win or lose games. The player, if who is better? Ja Morant is a better finisher at the rim right now. Ja Morant is shooting better from deep. He's shooting better from the free throw line. He's getting just as many assists without the same amount of turnovers. I don't know. And the crazy part about it is some of the criticism that people have for Westbrook have always been there. He's always turned the ball over at his historic rate. He's always been at best league average efficiency or worse. He has always been a spotty defender, especially in the past 5 years of his career. So when y'all sit here and make these arguments about it's the team, half of the things that people, matter of fact, I would argue 80% of the things that people are saying to y'all apply beyond this season. Now, the only reason why we were willing to overlook it is because he was finishing at the rim at a way better rate than he is right now. He's really bad at finishing at the rim. And it just looks more egregious when he's on a team that lacks floor spacing. But even when he was on a team last year with better floor spacing, the arguments that we're stating, bad defense, inefficient, turn the ball over, no mid-range shot, all that stuff still applied.
Now, this is what I was saying. I agree with what he's saying
Joy,
as far as
the quick. Joy, go ahead and reply real quick, and then I gotta kick it to JC.
Okay, so I agree with most of the stuff that he said, as far as him saying the player, because I think what Josh is basically saying, he's trying to maybe like defend Russ's play with the Lakers and like their situation right now. I think in what Legend is saying is basically that regardless of that, he can still hoop, regardless. So I get all of that. So I agree with the Ja Morant thing. Ja Morant is clearly a better player than Russ right now. And you could argue to a certain extent. Even last year, you could say that. But the only pushback that I have with Lowe is last year, when he said that, you couldn't. I think you can definitely put Russ in your top 7 point guards from last year. But besides that, I don't have an issue with what he said.
All right, go ahead, JC. So you go ahead and kick it, and then I'm definitely going to you, Henry, because I know you've had your hand up for quite some time. And then the rest of the hands, y'all can kind of just jump in, man.
All right, so hey, could everybody hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right,
Yep.
all right, I appreciate it. So hey, I've been here for a while, listening to this. It's hard to just write these notes and try to rebut everybody. So I'm just gonna go with what I have to say. Number one, Russell Westbrook is a bona fide Hall of Famer. Number one. So a lot of these guys that you're mentioning are not even Hall of Famers right now at their point of their career. That's number one. Number two, Russell Westbrook, the past 4 out of 6 years, this dude has averaged a triple-double. Like, literally, he's been that dude. It's not his fault that he got catfish. LeBron James and Anthony Davis literally says, hey, Russ, hey, just come to the Lakers and we're going to let you be you, which was BS to begin with. His game is built around the rim, lobbing it and dunking it to whatever center that is. This dude is a baller. This year, I promise you, there's nobody that's playing harder on, even though, yes, he's turning the ball over, and he's not even the number one ball turnover in the NBA. James Harden is averaging 4.7 a game. Westbrook is 4.0 a game. But at the same time, James Harden is in a better situation because his surrounding is a lot better that fit him better. Westbrook is in a no-win situation. You have 3 players with Davis, with James, with Westbrook. They all have to play within the center. Like, literally, none of them could be outside the perimeter and spread the floor. They all have to play the exact same within the free throw line. So that's not Westbrook's game. So I'm sorry. Like, look, I'm a Nets fan, by the way. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm a KD fan, through and through. But look, I watch NBA. If you watch the NBA, you know for a fact that if Westbrook was on any other team besides the Lakers, this would not be going on. There's no way in hell.
JC, can I ask you a question?
That's a terrible take.
Can I ask you a question? Because
It's the worst one.
In your opinion,
Oh my goodness,
in
bro.
your opinion, it is.
Oh my goodness, bro.
JC,
you
just brought the Nets, right? You just brought the Nets. Do you really think that Russell would be playing better on the Nets right now? Let's say take off Kyrie, and keep.
What the hell you mean take off Kyrie? That's the Nets. What the hell you mean?
He part time. That's why he part time.
I'm trying to switch a player.
No. Wait. No. If you put Westbrook on the Nets with KD and Kyrie, he will be better. You know why? Those are perimeter players. They don't need to clock the lane. Yeah, I mean, there's more spacing. There's more spacing. That's common sense. Because Westbrook is a lot of his shots are within 10 to 3 feet, literally, like a layup or a lob.
And
if you have KD, he had Harden and KD before. I promise you, this dude was good. So, I don't want to hear it. He's in a no-win situation because he got freaking James and Davis, which can't stay healthy, by the way. And nobody blaming Davis for not staying healthy, but
I blame him. Westbrook isn't the finisher at the basket you think he is, honestly.
All right.
He's not, though.
Right.
He's actually
You know
not.
what? I'm done. Hey, thank you for allowing me to come on this chat right here because this is ridiculous. This is a no-win situation. Whoever is a Westbrook fan, whoever is not a Westbrook fan, we're going to be here all night, all year. You know what? Thank you for allowing me to voice my opinion. Thank you, Ashley. You are the GOAT in space.
I appreciate you. I'm about to keep drinking my yak.
I appreciate that, man. Hey, Henry, you up next?
Oh
Mello,
my
LA,
god.
bro. I see all of y'all. Go ahead and say what you guys say.
So I just want to say, Ashley, Mark, Joy, I hope you guys are having a great night so far. And
Thank you, but
Yeah. Hey,
thank
I'm on.
you. Thank you,
and
Henry, the last guy who said that. Try to pack me up. So please don't be another one to pack me up, please. Thanks.
Hey,
I'm not gonna
Henry.
try to do that.
Yeah, I'm doing great, man. We're on this yak tonight, man. So go ahead, my guy.
I thank you guys for letting me come on here, but I'm going to take that opportunity to say that Damian Lillard is Russell Westbrook's father, and he always will be.
All right.
He always will be. Always has been. He owns him. He always will.
Can we please remove him? Thank
No,
you.
where
What
On a
is
serious
this?
note, on a more serious note, are we not taking Ben Simmons and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander over Russell Westbrook right now? Are we not doing it?
Who is Shea Gill? You mean Shea
Bro,
Gilgis
you can't even
Alexander?
say his name.
His name is
What's
Shea
going
Gilgis
on?
Alex. His name is Shea Gilgis Alexander. That's his name. Who the heck is Gil
That's besides y'all know who I'm talking about.
Check out
Y'all
of
know who I'm
here.
talking about.
You should just say SGA, my guy.
Yeah, okay. It was not
Yeah,
an
yeah.
English
To
class. Can
answer
y'all
your
just answer if
question,
y'all taking him?
to answer your
Yes.
question, I'm taking Ben Simmons and SGA over Westbrook easily.
But yes, we are
See,
taking
so that's
Mark,
him.
you
another
are
that's
really getting off
another
on this
two
space,
players
ain't
that you
you?
can add on the list right there. I mean, in your opinion, at least.
I forgot SGA on my list. In all honesty,
I just didn't
SGA
name
hasn't been as
Ben
good as
Simmons
y'all
because he hasn't
probably
played all
realize,
year.
honestly.
So I didn't name Ben Simmons.
Mark, you sound a little bit too happy over there. I don't know what type of
Yeah,
time you on.
I mean,
Ben,
I'm drinking
I'm
some
not the
yak right now,
biggest.
so of course I'm happy.
You
I'm
sound
not the
way too
biggest
happy
Ben
with this
Simmons
race
fan either.
car.
That's kind of tough.
I'm not the biggest Ben Simmons fan either, but he's an elite defender, elite playmaker, and you basically get in a better version of Russ essentially at the point guard, and he's way bigger, obviously, because he's more versatile.
When somebody don't play basketball because their coach called them out, I can't.
Oh
do it,
no,
bro.
his mental
I
state
can't.
is definitely up for question. But if he's playing basketball, like even if we're going off his last year against the Hawks, where he was still terrible, I'm still taking that version of Ben Simmons over Russ right now.
I guess.
No.
Yeah. Because if Ben Simmons was playing right now, bro, if Ben Simmons is playing right now on that fucking Lakers team, bro, that man could not withstand the shit that everybody talking
That
about
is a
Westbrook.
fact.
He just couldn't do
this
it, bro.
Hey, check this out. Everybody that has a mic, you don't even got to raise your hand. Just go ahead and jump in. I just ask that y'all keep it respectful and not speak over each other, so we can hear the points that y'all are trying to make. Please, thank you.
All right, let me spit real quick because my phone about to die and I gotta get out of here.
He's lying, yo.
Thanks for being patient. Thanks for being patient.
Nah, it's cool. It's cool. I just got a headache, a little bit headache. Where do I start, bro? I kind of feel bad because Russell Westbrook. Listen, when we talk about all those other players that are better than Russ, it's not just 20. And I don't want to be disrespectful, but I got to talk the truth. It's about like 300-400 players. But the
No,
thing
this
is,
nigga's
when we
trolling.
talk,
He's trolling.
no,
Nah,
no, I'm not
he's
trolling. I'm not
trolling.
trolling. Don't kick me. I'm not
Nah,
trolling. I'm
he's
not
trolling.
trolling.
He's trolling. He's
Let
trolling.
me get my point. Let me get my
Let my
point.
boy land.
Listen, LA bro, to the 800 something plus folks that's in here. You will get your ass packed up if you say the wrong kind of things in this here space, okay? Come on, LA bro, like your phone is about to die. You were supposed to be making a great point. Don't get packed up.
No,
He's
I ain't trying to
capping,
troll.
Ashley. He's
I really
lying.
don't like to
He's
troll.
lying.
Hold on, Daryl.
His
Hold on,
phone
bro.
is
Hold on, Daryl,
full.
bro. Nah, I'm not trolling. I'm not a troll. I don't like to troll. What I'm trying to say is, what I mean by that is, see, Russell Westbrook, by himself, he's a great player. By himself, he can carry a team to the playoffs. And the problem is, Russ as a first option will not win you games in terms of like win you a championship. And you cannot build around him in order to win a championship. Russ has a third. And hold on, Joy. Hold on. Let me just finish my point. You can back me up.
Let him get it on.
And Russ as a third option doesn't fit on any team. You could say KD and Kyrie, but guess what? I saw KD and James Harden, and I saw him lose in the finals. And then I saw him and KD, and I saw him blow a 3-1 lead to a 6-foot dude. But let me tell you something. Russell Westbrook. The only issue is that when we brought him in, right? Obviously, that's a mistake. But obviously, he's not the only problem. But we expected him because of his contract. I know y'all say don't talk about his money, and I respect that. But because of his contract, we can't get those other shooters that y'all talking about. We can't get those wing defenders that y'all talking about. You feel me? So we got to get a bunch of minimum contract dudes, and we expect Russ to make up for all the ass players that we got. We want, because if you're taking all the money and you can't shoot, you can't defend, you can't hit a mid-range shot, you can't finish at the rim, and you're not a great playmaker, then you're just a negative. And he's a negative on any team. And y'all keep on talking
That's
about
a
this
lie.
wizard, and y'all keep on talking about this wizard shit. Like, he was the 9th seed or 10th seed. It's just the reason why they made the playoffs was because of the play-in. Like, if the play-in did not exist, he was a 10th seed. And and I see y'all get a little too defensive every time I talk about, oh, he averaged a triple double, oh, he made the playoffs before by himself, oh, he did this, he did that. We talking about now. What have you done for me lately? You feel me? Laker fans don't give a damn, bro. They was shitting on Braun, a 3-time champ, 4-time MVP. They're like, we don't give a fuck what you did before, bro. What are you gonna do for us? And that's what it's about. You got to update your resume in sports. That's all. That's all I gotta say.
Okay, so
all right, thanks, appreciate you, bro. Go ahead and rebuttal Joy, and then everybody else can go ahead and jump in. I'm gonna drop you down, LA, bro.
There are parts of your argument that I respect, and there's parts that I don't respect. Did he leave?
You good? Go ahead. I dropped him down.
Okay. Well, all I was gonna say was, there's parts to his argument that I respect, and parts that I don't respect. But the bottom line, yet again, is at the end of the day, this is a top. Like, I don't even know if he even gave us his top 25 or top. I don't think he even answered the question. He just came in here and basically just said the situation about Russ and the Lakers, and I already knew all of this. But the bottom line is this: this is not a space to bash Russ. Give your list, and then that's it.
Okay.
But I forgot half of the crap that he said.
Can I say something, please?
Yeah, y'all better jump in. So, as a speaker, jump in. Jay Will, you next, because I know you had your hand up, bro.
The list is bad, but I'm gonna tell you why it's bad, and I'm being completely honest. Please, nobody cut me off. It's bad because there are 29 point guards better than Russell Westbrook.
Get him out!
Jesus Christ!
Hold
on. Wait.
Bro.
Hold on. Wait.
Let him get his shit off.
Wait.
Let him get it off.
Can I give
Let
my
him get it
list?
off.
Can I
Let him
give
get it
my
off.
list?
Name him.
Can I please give my list?
You about to give us 29 mofos?
Yeah.
I want to hear this crap.
Can I give my list, please?
Can you tweet it and we put it in the jumbotron?
All right, look. Hold on. Look. I'm gonna send my list off real quick. Can y'all hear me? Joy says she ain't having.
Is it crack or weed? Which one? Which one is it?
Hey, Ashley.
What's that?
I'm for him naming 29 players right now. Point guards better than Russ. Let him do it.
I'm gonna write it down, y'all.
But please don't interrupt him, anybody. I know you guys are going to react.
Please don't interrupt me. Y'all gotta
let him get us 29 off, and then we'll.
This is nuts, bro.
Hold up. Bro, you probably been in this space for over an hour. If you don't run these joints off immediately without any stuttering, I'm dropping you back down to
I'm about to spit right now. I'm about to spit this shit right now. Hold on. You ready?
Give me the list, and if I hear Ish Smith, I'm removing you myself.
No Ish Smith. All right, but look, hold on. Y'all ready? I'm about to say it. Look.
Run through it, bro.
Ja Morant, Trae Young, Kyle Lowry, DeJounte Murray, Jamal Murray, Steph Curry, Seth Curry, Brunson, Maxey, LaMelo, Lonzo, Garland, Van Vliet, CP3, D'Lo, Dame, Fox, Shai, Kyrie, Luka, Harden, CJ, Halliburton, Cade, Marcus Smart, Ben Simmons, Reggie Jackson, and Kevin Porter Jr.
Oh my!
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That wasn't 29 though.
Either.
I'm not gonna play this game.
I had to mute everybody, dog. Bro, this man said Marcus Smart.
Wait, who is CJ? Who is CJ?
CJ McCollum.
Oh my gosh.
Bro, you didn't name 29. You named 28.
That shit wasn't 29, bro.
Yeah, you need one more like 28, bro.
Russell Westbrook is a 29th. I'm telling y'all right. Y'all wouldn't pick Russell Westbrook over any other players I named.
Yes, the heck I would.
Y'all bugging.
Yes, I guess I'm bugging in Carrie. I guess I'm bugging because I would sure the heck pick half of those players over Russell.
Who?
Give me the list again. Give me the list again, and I will tell you how.
Y'all choosing Russ over Marcus Smart?
That's
what?
Yes.
Nah, I would, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I would.
He's gone. He's finished.
I don't think
he's gone. Period. I'm not gonna finish.
No, girl. Oh no, you can't be dropping people like that, man. Hey, look, go ahead, Jay Will, because you up next. Hold on, M17.
Joy, you just dropped him.
Yes, I'm losing brain cells. I'm not gonna play this game with y'all. Not
Hey,
tonight.
out of respect, I think Boomin was before me. I don't want to go before him if he was here before me.
Oh, go ahead, Boomin.
Sure, bro. This is the most toxic space I've ever been in. No cap.
No, we're not looking for that. This is
Yo, hey, shout out.
Booming. Listen, this is a classy
No,
space.
it is,
okay?
but it's also a lot of toxic participants. But it's cool. It's funny. It's entertainment. That's what we're here for. At the end of the day, I guess my take on Westbrook. I'm a Westbrook fan. I'm optimistic about him. Although I can admit that, look, you can argue that his skill set, being that it's not in a system that's not at all working for him, we have to attach that to the fact that he's not playing great this year at all. Maybe 20 point guards would be a better fit, just from the fact that they can't shoot with LeBron, and the system in LA is supposed to be LeBron James. I think there's no doubt about that in my mind. And AD's been out. He's going to have the ball in his hand, and Westbrook needs the ball in his hands normally to thrive. And that's kind of more or less what it's about to me. I think if Lakers had more shooting, just around him, I think if they stagger their minutes kind of away from each other, then which they do, but I got them all over the place. I know, but look, overall, I think if you put Westbrook in a vacuum, there's not 15 point guards better than him. But right now, there's definitely probably up to 20 point guards that are playing better this season. I think if he is gone, which he more than likely will be gone next season, I think you will have a little bit of a resurgence. How impactful will that be on a winning team? Don't really know, because he's an athletic player. That's kind of what he does rely on. And I hear year after year that he's working on his jump shot, and it never comes to fruition. Even his free throw shooting is going down, and that's really what's making me mad. And I feel like that's partially why he's not getting the same calls when he goes to the rim because he's kind of losing that respect. But yeah,
Can I ask you a question? You said that it's not even 15 that's better than him. I have 15 or 16 or something like that on my page, and I think they put it on the jumbotron.
Yeah.
Can you pick out the players? Two things: A, where do you rank Russ? And B, can you pick out some of the players that you just think are not better than Russ on the 15 that I have?
Let me go double check. Like I said, this season, I can agree with your whole list that they're playing better and that they would fit better with the Lakers this season. But in terms of just being a better player, let me go look back at your list.
And just as a player, where do you have him ranked as a point guard?
Point guard, top 15. Like I said, let me go back to your list and just make sure.
Okay.
I think making this tough on me. I can put him again above, because I could put him at a brink all-star level point guard in his own system or with the ball in his hand.
Do you see my list?
Yeah, so I can kind of
okay. I just need you to say the players. Yeah. Just say the players.
I can put him up almost against Van Vliet and maybe De'Aaron Fox, maybe Jamal Murray. I can put him.
Oh no, that's enough.
Wait, Jamal Murray, he's on the list?
Yeah. I can
most definitely.
But how?
Hey, Mello, the Notorious Lambs, and Jay Will, y'all gotta get in here, man. I got 45 in queue, so I gotta start shifting some folk around.
Yeah, one more thing before I get out of here. Hey, get Dom Duke in here though. Get Dom Duke. He's a great basketball mind. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's. Appreciate y'all for letting me talk.
Thanks for jumping on, my guy.
Yeah, thanks, King.
Hello.
Hey,
I just didn't want to interrupt. That's why I was just keeping quiet, letting people talk.
You good?
But yeah, I think the title number one is misleading because, like, right now there are 20 point guards better than Westbrook, but are they better players? No, but are they better this season? Yeah. If you get what I'm trying to say.
Well, the title's not misleading because somebody said it the way we put it.
Oh, okay, cool.
So the way
then that's fine.
Right,
then
that's why
fine.
exactly. Somebody said it
fine.
exactly the way it was typed. Yeah, so.
Yeah, but
wild,
right now,
I know, but yes.
This
actually
it is wild. It is wild because
Facts.
there are not 20 point guards that are better than him, like individual players, but like playing right now this season, yeah, definitely, most definitely, they are 20.
Can I
Like,
ask you this
definitely.
question? What
Yep.
separates Westbrook this year from last year?
This year from last year, I guess it's like playing without freedom. I guess like someone said it here, like he's not having that space, like the space is too clogged for him, like, which makes sense because Westbrook is that player. Like, he's always been that player. Attack the rim and just go for it. Like, and I haven't seen that in the Lakers, like in with him playing in the Lakers, and it's just, I don't know. Like, I feel like even watching him now, it feels like he does not want to play the way he normally plays because like everything he does is like looked at every detail by the media. So he just kind of just is like, okay, if I get points, I get points, but like I'll just play. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's frustrating to watch him play like that, but I do believe that if he goes to another team, we will see Westbrook again. Maybe not at that level, like that top level, but he is definitely like up there, like top 15 at least point guards.
I guess they didn't really answer, but
I mean, I can answer for you. So the difference between this year and last year, number one, he was their primary ball handler. This season, he even laughed at the question that the reporter asked him himself when he said, that when he basically called Russ the point guard of the team, and then Russ laughed and said, "Oh, I am the point guard," because half the time I have Russ in the corner. So that's number one. He was actually their point guard up until not just with the Wizards, but he had more freedom with the Rockets than he did, this year. And then before that, obviously, OKC, he was their primary ball handler. So that's number one. Number two, the spacing was much better. Not only, and I'm not bashing the Lakers role players, but I honestly feel like, in my humble opinion, that the Wizards role players were somewhat more consistent and reliable than the Lakers role players are this year. And I think it was better spacing. Number three, obviously, he had not saying that LeBron James isn't complimentary to Russ, but Bradley Beal was more complimentary to Russ. And number five, it was a better fit. So when it's a better fit, it's gonna bring the best out of you. That's why people complain so much when Russ came. They say it's a bad fit. So when it's a bad fit, it's gonna bring the worst out of you, and that's just what it is. So with the Wizards, and then up into the Wizards, the Rockets, OKC, it was a good fit. You saw the best Russ, and that was the difference.
Joy, do you disagree with Legends list that he posted?
I think Legend has a good list. I already kind of told him, listen, Harden has played better than Russ this year. Holiday has, Garland has, Van Vliet has, Irvin, Ball, Young, Halliburton. They all have. Now, obviously, Jamal Murray hasn't played at all, and neither has Dame. And I kind of have an issue with those two being on there. But besides that, it is what it is. But I already told everybody, like, my beef isn't with people saying that he's played better. My beef is with them saying they're a better player, because that's two different terminologies, two different meanings.
Okay, well, I'm gonna say this about the situation. I'm a KD fan, and so I watched Russ play with KD and OKC every single year, every single game, mostly. So my thing with this Westbrook thing is, when I first seen the Lakers get him, everybody had questions. It was a couple of games in the beginning, which is confusing to me, that Westbrook would play the Draymond role. And what I mean by that is, like, down the stretch, they'll make him set the screen for LeBron. He'll slip it. Bron will hit him in the middle. Then he'll throw the lob to AD, or he'll throw the pass to the corner for Melo for a three. And I thought it was working. And I'm like, oh, see, I knew LeBron was going to figure it out, knowing that he can't shoot the ball, knowing he can give you inconsistency from that part, and also just not being that type of scorer that's just going to overwhelm a defense. So then, as time went on, I'm not trying to blame this on LeBron, but LeBron defense has not been good this year as a help defender or even on an on-ball defender. So I do think that Westbrook's the type of guy, especially when he played with KD. And I used to get mad at KD. If Westbrook is like, it's all about personality, it's all about mindset, it's all about psychological things in his mind. So it's like, if I don't have the respect for my team or teammates that I'm playing for, I'm not trying to,
that's
like,
why your ass ain't almost get back up, Simple.
I love you, Ashley.
I brought you back up here. Nah, I brought you back up here. Behave in front of
Why the heck
company.
did you bring him back? Ugh.
Because he's the one that made this quote. My co-host just reminded me that he's the one who said that he could name 20 point guards Well, he added on top of Mark, so he agreed with what Mark's list was, which was 10, and then he wanted to tack on 10 more. So I brought Simple back up here, but behave in front of company. Go ahead. My bad for interrupting you.
Yo,
Yeah. So go ahead, Legend.
I just did okay. So because everybody, I'm gonna be honest with y'all are making some of the worst excuses. Okay, so when he wasn't playing with LeBron, right? Because there was a stretch in the season where he didn't play with LeBron. Why was he still playing poorly then?
Wait, I didn't even get to finish my point because I'm not backing
Okay, go
them.
ahead,
I'm
go.
not
I'm gonna
backing
let.
them. I'm not
All right,
backing
let me
them.
go ahead and go.
I'm just trying to tell you this is how I see it. So like during the like I'm saying he's psychological, he's mental player. So I used to say the same thing with KD. Westbrook is the type, he'll look to his left, he look to his right, and he's wondering, okay, you gonna come get the ball, KD, or you gonna come wait for me to get the ball to you? Which one you want to do? He's the type of person where I don't respect it. I'm finna go take this upon myself. And I can't look at him and say, damn, Westbrook, you wrong for that. KD, as a basketball player, if you broke a step up to the ball, go step up to the ball. But this is the thing I have with Rush, though. Just because you don't see it your way or you don't get it the way you would want it to be ideally for you, you can't go out there and go do what you do, mess up or fail, and then say, hey, it's another reason for it. And I just think that's the biggest thing with issue. That's the biggest thing I think about Russ. Russ know what he can do, but then if he feel like, I can't do it, or you guys ain't allowing me, he's gonna make an excuse versus just saying, let me look myself in the mirror and do it, regardless if I'm unhappy with a lot of things that are happening in a situation. So I just think it's situational for Russ. And every single time he's turned into that for him, he never is happy. And then and with that, he doesn't play well.
My only pushback to that, because I don't believe in it, because I don't know Westbrook enough to run with that ideology. But the only problem that I have with that is that there was a stretch where he wasn't playing with LeBron, and so this idea, like, he looked down the corner, he just saw LeBron, and he didn't have respect regardless of his lack of defense or whatever it was. But there was a stretch where he didn't play with LeBron, and he was still playing poorly. He was still he was turning the ball over more back then than he is right now. So like the arguments that we're talking about Westbrook, he's played in way too many different circumstances. He's played alongside way too many teammates, and he's had way too many opportunities that are different from one another for us not to like make these blanket statements about what other people or other entities are doing around him, instead of just acknowledging that's just who he is. The only difference I can say right now is that Westbrook is legitimately on a team where he's more than likely going to be forced to play off ball a little bit more because of the two other players that are on the floor with him. However, Westbrook hasn't even been playing off ball as much as y'all probably think, because for the most part of the year, he's been the second option. So he hasn't even been really the third option this year, because how many games LeBron and AD have been missing. So in the beginning of the season, he wasn't playing that great. He's been getting worse throughout the remainder of the season. But in the beginning of the season, when LeBron was not playing or he was in and out of the lineups, that man still wasn't looking that good at all. He just wasn't.
I'm not
Okay,
making an excuse that he
Question real
wasn't
quick.
playing good.
Hold on real quick. Let me let M17 jump in because he been waiting. And those that have their hand raised, y'all can kind of just get in where y'all fit in at this point. Go ahead.
Hey, real quick before we get to what's the M17?
Yeah.
Make sure you guys follow the host. We all have our own podcast. We got a lot of stuff going on as far as sports content. I know Joy has great stuff. Ashley has great stuff. I think I have great stuff as well. So make sure you guys follow us, and let's continue the conversation. Go ahead, M17.
All right. Just want to hope everyone's doing okay.
We are.
I
Thanks
just
for your
wanted to.
I'm on that
Yes,
yak,
sir.
bro. So I'm doing great, man.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. I just wanted to talk about how I feel like Westbrook he's been the same guy since the MVP. I feel like people are talking about he's changed, he's different situation. I feel like he's been the same player. If you go back to 2018, 2019, when he lost with PG against Dame, against rookie Donovan Mitchell, it's the same things. We're talking about the same things. Inefficient. He's hogging the ball a bit too much. He's not getting in the right space. He's not getting his shots up. He's not playmaking well. It's the same thing. And I get in the regular season, he gets all these wins. He does his job. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's doing what's right in regular season. But when it's time to put the ball in the net, when it's time to play basketball, he can't do it. That man is playing pickup basketball in the NBA.
And you cannot win by playing hero ball every game. Yeah, you might make it to the playoffs. Yeah, you might make it in the first round, a couple wins. But you don't win by playing that ball. And that's where people are going off track, is by thinking that he's changed and, oh, now he can't hit jump shots, he can't make layups, he's a liability on defense. But this has always been the problem. It's the same thing. And the fact that he is what, 30, 32, 33, and he still can't see the issues that he brings to NBA basketball pretty much is just astonishing to me. I feel like I just had to get off my chest.
M17, do you believe that there are 15 to 20 point guards better than Russell Westbrook right now? Or did you already answer that
100%.
question?
100%.
Okay.
I didn't 100%. And
Hey,
the reason why
can I say
I
something? Can I say something?
can I just finish quickly? The
Yeah,
reason
go
why
ahead.
the reason why I feel like there's 15 to 20 players better at that position is because they can shoot the ball, they can pass the ball well, play make, they can get to the rim efficiently, and they can make their free throws when they get the foul calls. They don't turn over the ball in the clutch like stupid passes. Like I've seen the most stupid passes this guy's made, but then at the same time he'll make a crazy pass and I just don't get it. It's like when he's having a good game, if he starts off well, yes, he will play good and he can be a top 10, top 15, sometimes even a top 5 point guard. But then the next game, he'll have a poor start to his shooting, and then now he's playing like a bottom 100 NBA player. Like he's on the 10th spot of the roster. So yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like that just needed to be said.
Hey, real quick, how do you
M17.
how do you pin a tweet to the jumbotron?
You have to tweet it yourself, and then you can act as if you want to share it or whatever, and then you'll see that you can share it to the space that you're currently in.
Oh, okay, I just shared my list.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I deliberately went through all the point guards in the league, and I came up with
Derek
30.
White. What
I came up with 30 point guards better than Russell Westbrook. I think all 30 of these players have a greater impact on winning than Russell Westbrook.
This is nuts, bro. I can't. I'm losing brain cells. Like, this dude has Lowry, Maxey, Harden, Lonzo.
Reggie
Ayo.
who?
Who the heck is Ayo?
Reggie Jackson?
Ayo DeSumbo on the Bulls.
He's
You
better.
got Drew Holiday, freaking Derek White.
Y'all dragging some of these. Like,
No,
y'all funny.
what the heck? You mean you saying that Derek White is better than freaking Russell? That's what I'm talking about. What is this? And then you have Garland. Who is FVV? Who is that? Who is FVV?
Fred VanVleet.
Fred VanVleet. Okay, got it. Kyrie, LaMelo, Trey, Brogdon, Halliburton, Brogdon, Bogdanovich.
Hell no. I know, boy, if you don't take Patrick Beverly off this motherfucking dog, I know you lying. I know you're trolling.
He's a troll.
You know what? But you know what? Thank you. Is there anything I'm not gonna just drop you? Co-host, don't just drop. Is there anything else you have to say, Jamie, before I take you out as a
Please get him out of here.
I just want to say that I'm 100% not trolling. I'm 100% not trolling, and
let him get it off, please.
Yeah, I'm 100% not trolling. I do believe that. I'm not. I do believe if you replace Russell Westbrook with Pat Bev on the Los Angeles Lakers, they'd be a better team.
I have a question.
Oh my God.
You can replace you can replace fucking Steph Curry on the Los Angeles Lakers, and they're still ass. The Lakers are just ass.
Whoa.
I don't understand why.
I don't know about that.
Whoa, you went too far with Steph Curry, man. You went a little too far with Steph Curry.
They're making the playoffs with Steph.
Let me get my point.
You're wild.
What the fuck are y'all talking about? First of all, instead of saying 20 point guards better than Westbrook, we should say 20 point guards that could fit LeBron's system better. That's what we should be saying.
Hey, I respect
we shouldn't be
that.
saying there's 20 point guards better than Russ, because there's not 15 point guards. There's not 20 point guards better than Russell Westbrook. Let's get that correct.
Yeah.
Every single year, Russell Westbrook has been in this season.
God, can I ask you something?
Every single year, Russell has been in.
Wait a minute! Don't mute. Let him finish. Let him get off. Go ahead.
Every single year, Russell Westbrook has been in the NBA. It's just hilarious to me. After one Lakers season, niggas are having the discussion that Derek White is better than Russell Westbrook. This is just ridiculous to me. How you niggas is just making up these hilarious assumptions. It's stupid. It's stupid. There is not 15 point guards in the league better than Russell Westbrook. There
Can I ask you a question?
Point guards that Are you telling me? Are you really telling me right now that Russell Westbrook would not have OKC in a better spot than they're in right now? Russell Westbrook would not have the Pacers in a better spot they're in right now. Like, are you
Yes.
really telling me this shit?
Why?
You are
You
a
guys are
king.
ridiculous.
Oh, you know
You
why
guys are
I would say
so
no. You know why I would
stupid.
say no. Because the same
Explain.
people
Please explain to me.
y'all say need
Explain
floor
to me.
space. None of them team has good shooters. No, he wouldn't be able to.
What?
That's a lie.
And this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. You guys don't. You guys classify
How?
shooting. You guys classify shooting as the end all be all. Shooting is not
He
the only
can't
thing
finish
that makes
either, bro.
a point
So what's your
guard.
point?
First of all, no. Shut up. Let me speak. Shooting is not the only thing that makes a point guard. I don't understand when
Facts.
shooting has become the only thing that makes a great point guard. Russell Westbrook has not been ass his entire career, and I admit he's been ass this year.
That's a
Ass. But
fact.
no player on God's given earth, no player on God's given earth has ever been put in a terrible situation and succeeded.
Okay.
There is no
I
player
mean,
that
can
can
I ask a
be put in a
question for you
terrible
now?
situation and succeed.
Can I ask a
It's just
question?
not true. It's
Hold on
just
real
not
quick.
true.
Hold
Can
on
I
real quick.
ask him a question, please?
Yeah, you can ask him a question, simple, but let's make sure we keep the insults
All
to a
right.
minimum.
So you say that Russ can't shoot. Right?
I wasn't done, simple. This is why you be in timeout. Please make sure that we're not telling each other to shut up, and make sure that we are not talking over the host. I would hate to have to shut this motherfucker down. Thank you.
Yikes.
Well, can I ask you my question now?
Go ahead.
You can ask
So
good.
since you saying, well, I understand floor space and all that, but DeJounte and Fox both can't shoot. They both would be way better players than the Lakers right now.
DeJounte and Fox are in way. I'm not saying Fox is in a great
Bro, they are both
situation,
not in
but
good
Fox
situations. I'm
has
not
the
trying to hear that.
ball in his hands. DeJounte has the ball in his hands. You're asking a player who has never not played with the ball in his hands to play off ball when he hasn't played off ball his entire career. Russell Westbrook is not the type of player to play off ball.
If
It's
he's
just
on
not
ball, you're
true.
not
When
getting
you look
nowhere. So
back in
why
his
you keep
whole
saying
career,
that?
when you look in his whole career, when has Russell Westbrook been asked to go in the corner and have LeBron James dribble the ball up the court and wait for a pass?
You know why he's
It's
supposed to
just
do that?
not
Because he
I'm
true.
misses
sorry, but you
layups.
acting like
Doesn't
he's
You're
shoot
doing
acting
the
all
like
that
ball.
in possession.
wait.
He's
Let me
not.
speak. You're acting like DeJounte Murray, if he was on the Lakers, would be as
He
successful
would.
as he is
He
right
would.
now. And you're just
He would.
lying. At this point, you're just
He would.
lying. You're lying to
Would he?
yourself. You're lying
He
to
would
everybody
though.
because you know it's not
Okay,
true.
okay,
You know it's
no,
not
no.
true, and you're just
DeJounte would be better on the Lakers. Yes.
DeJounte Murray is not doing anything
Way
for the
better
Lakers.
defender. Way more
I'm
competent
telling you this
passer.
right now. The Lakers are just
Yes,
a
he
bad
would.
team. They're strictly a bad. We saw what they did against Portland when Anthony Simon bust their ass. We saw
Anthony
it.
Simon's better
We
than
saw
Westbrook
when
too, though.
AD and LeBron played terrible, and the Lakers had 22 turnovers that night. Was Russell
And guess
Westbrook
who
playing?
wasn't there,
No, he
Russ?
was not playing. So I don't understand where you guys got this assumption from that
Yeah, can
he's
I
the
ask you a
reason they're
question real quick,
losing
bro?
right
Yeah,
now.
Ask you
It
a
can I
makes
ask you a
no
question?
sense. It
It's a
makes
couple.
zero sense.
It's a couple of questions that y'all keep
Well, go
forgetting.
ahead.
Legend, ask me
Hey,
the questions because me and you,
hey.
I love to go at you. I
Okay.
love to go at you, Legend. Let's
I
go.
hope you're ready because there's enough people in here for me to embarrass you, so you better be
Okay,
ready.
let's go.
Real quick,
Hey,
Legend.
again.
You can go
Okay.
ahead, but I need other people in this 10 that have the mic. I need y'all to get in when y'all fit in because I have 35 in queue. I gotta move some folks. But go ahead, Elijah. Once
Again,
he's done, y'all need to jump in.
y'all keep talking. Everybody keeps talking as if like first of all, y'all openly admitting that Westbrook is not a functioning player when he doesn't have the ball in his hands is a further proof that that's lowering his value. So that's A. B. There was games in which Russell Westbrook was playing and LeBron didn't play, and he still looks bad.
I
So like,
strictly remember Russell Westbrook earlier this season he was averaging like 25 points in like
no,
eight straight games
I've
without
looked at it.
LeBron playing. But let's go. Let's go. Come on, go ahead and speak. Go
I've
ahead and
looked at
speak.
it.
What was the
Again,
Lakers' record in that stretch?
The Lakers team is terrible. I don't understand.
again,
You guys say
yeah,
you guys
I don't
mentioned
want
But
the
to.
if the
Lakers
I
record.
don't
narrative is
want
that
to. I don't
LeBron
want to. I
James,
don't.
AD were on the court too, and they still played
Yeah,
terrible. I don't
I'm
understand
not here to talk
I
about
don't
wins and
understand
losses.
what your argument is right now.
I'm not here to talk about wins and losses.
Okay, go ahead, Legend.
When
Go ahead.
in the games in which LeBron played, he did not average 25. He was averaging 20 to 21. That's two more points.
He's averaging 21. The games LeBron is playing, Westbrook is in every statistical category. He's less 16, 7, and 6. When LeBron isn't playing, he's averaging 21, 8, and 8. When LeBron didn't play earlier this season, when Westbrook's confidence was up the way he normally plays, he was out. He had a couple games straight. It was like 8 straight games, 25 plus points.
But
While LeBron was not on the court, and let's get that correct, and that's true.
But we're talking about a bigger sample size. We're talking about we've seen enough of it right now to where we can't just sit here and argue. Hey, when LeBron is on the court, he don't have the ball in his hands, or he's just standing in a corner. Again, if you admit that, you're acknowledging that lessens the value of who Westbrook is. Because if he can't function without the ball in his hands, that also brings down his value. So that's again. Let me just restate that.
So you expect a player that has not played off ball his entire career to just all of a sudden give you value off ball?
I let you talk. Second thing, if you just look at the facts, that man Westbrook, though he doesn't handle the ball as much as he used to, this idea that Westbrook is just like standing in a corner, y'all are making hyperbolic statements. It's just hyperbolic. On average, Russell Westbrook still holds the ball longer than LeBron this year. That's a fact.
Bro,
That's a fact.
Legend, you're saying bullshit now. You're saying
that's a fact. You can go look at it. It's a fact.
Legend, you're saying
facts.
The
highest
bullshit.
like usage in NBA history. No,
we're not talking about history. We're talking about this year.
I don't think it's this year.
In this year, in this year, if you go look up the facts, Russell Westbrook still holds the ball longer. However, even when Russell Westbrook is playing on the court, either when LeBron is absent or when LeBron is on the bench, he's still not productive as y'all make it seem. Yes, we can make an argument for the ancillary pieces surrounding him doesn't fit to his whim. Understandable. But again, if you're admitting that when he doesn't have the ball in his hands, he loses value, that furthers the point. And two, we've seen this. The problem is that last year and for the past few years, the value and the impact that Westbrook has slowly declined, and nobody doesn't want to say anything because this is the pushback that people receives. And so now it seems like a lot of this shit is coming out of nowhere, when the reality it's not, bro. He's been slowly losing value. Is it 20 players or 20 point guards? Again, I don't agree with that.
But this is hilarious, Legend, because that's like saying, what value does Chris Paul give you when he doesn't have the ball in his hand? You understand how idiotic that argument is?
He's still a shooting threat. He's still a shooting threat.
I'm not gonna cap, bro. Chris Paul without the ball is still more effective than Westbrook without the ball. What are you saying?
Did you not
wait.
I'm sorry, man.
Did you not watch Chris Paul in Houston with James Harden?
Chris Paul had the ball. Did you not watch Russell Westbrook in Houston with James Harden? Like, that's stupid. Dumb argument. When Chris Paul was
traded, what are you talking about? You sound crazy.
Stupid argument you're bringing up. You're bringing up a dumb argument. Literally, CP3 got traded for Russell Westbrook. So Russell Westbrook was better to them, was he not?
No, they saw
you are crazy.
What are you talking about?
Okay. As a Russ fan, I'm gonna chime in for a sec. Chris Paul is 10 times, like, I'm not, okay, I love Russ. Chris Paul is a much better player than Russell Westbrook. That's number one.
Look at Joy.
I never said Russ was better than Chris Paul. I never said that.
Hold on. Number two, I love Russ to death. But in Houston, Chris Paul added much more value off the ball than Russ ever has. Number three, Chris Paul shows you exactly how much we've seen games where he's shooting freaking 2 for 16. I've seen the playoffs, and the IQ that he brings to basketball as far as playing goes in defense goes. Come on, I can't let you say that Russ is just the same off the ball. It's completely different, completely.
And again, Chris Paul is a shooting. Chris Paul is a shooting threat. You're arguing something. Exactly. Yeah, he's actually a threat. If you watch how teams defend them both when they're off ball, it is drastically different.
Chris Paul is a much better shooter than
he's arguing, that doesn't make any sense. And again, even beyond that, decision making, there's players that are just better because they don't turn the ball over as often. There's players who provide more defensively as well. So I'm not saying that Chris Paul is trash. I mean, Westbrook is trash, but to argue like when off ball, what does Chris Paul provide?
Yeah.
He's been a competent floor spacer for practically his entire career, while Russ has been literally the opposite. That's a bad argument.
You see how people have to still watch Chris Paul off the ball. Look, this season
Yo,
when we've seen Russell Westbrook at the top of the key for the three, players back up and just pile up in the paint because they know damn well he's either not going to shoot this three or he's going to try to pass it off to somebody else or he's going to shoot this three and he's going to airball it.
I want
So
to hear
And
what
that's
Nitro
where
got
I
to
want
say.
to. That's where
Hear what
Laker
Nitro got to say.
personnel comes into fruition. Laker personnel is terrible. They're terrible with Anthony Davis, LeBron James, and Russell Westbrook
But
on the
Russ
floor.
is that
This
personnel.
team is just
He's
bad.
part of that awful personnel.
But again, I want to be
Real quick,
nobody's saying he
hold
isn't.
on, real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
JH, I didn't know if you wanted to say something, Charles. I know you've been up here, Kari. I know you've been trying to jump in. Y'all can say what y'all need to say. Oh, JH dropped down. So, all right, well, go
All
ahead,
right.
Charles. I know you was up here for a minute.
All right. Here's my thing. Okay, I get the off ball stuff with Russ. All right, it's not a strength. I get all that. Okay, you know who else who loses value when they play out the ball? LeBron James, because most of the time I see that dude just stand on the perimeter, not get involved in the offense. It'd be like 4-on-5 basically when I watch the Lakers offense when he's off the ball. When he has the ball, he has to see the entire court from the top of the key. If you watch him play, he has to get the ball at the top of the key and see the entire court. So my thing is this: getting Russ was a mistake anyway. Why would you want a player that plays the same way as you? Basically, that's all I'm saying here with the Lakers this season. And the biggest problem is they not communicating on defense. They not rotating. They not pointing out screens. I'm seeing Austin Reeves getting picked the hell, dog. That dude's gonna get hurt playing with the Lakers at this point. As many picks as he's taking.
a lot of these motherfuckers aren't defensive-minded players though. Like
I just want to say this quick. I just say this real quickly. I understand what you're saying about when X players off ball, but let's again, y'all like hearing like half of the shit we're saying. It's not just that when Westbrook is off the ball, he doesn't provide value. It's not just that. It's also he turns the ball over a lot. It's also the bad defense. It's also when he scores, he's doing it at an inefficient rate. It's also that he's not making his free throws just out of nowhere in the past 3 years. He's not making them as often as he used to. It's not just one, and in this year in particular, he's not finishing at the rim as much as he used to. No spacing. It's not just one thing. It's not just one thing.
No
Is LeBron not
spacing.
doing the same
You're
thing?
forgetting about
personnel.
You can't argue this without mentioning
Russ averaging 30. What are you talking about?
I'm gonna answer this question. No, LeBron's scoring efficiency is not as bad as Westbrook.
Okay,
no,
I get that. He's on the decline too.
Obviously, LeBron's
it's not.
He's averaging 30.
What?
When he's stat padding, the Lakers down 20 points.
Oh,
Exactly.
shut up,
The Lakers are down 30 points, and he's in there still in the game to score 25. What are you talking about?
That's fine. To the guy who said that his efficiency is declining, that is factually incorrect. It's the highest it's been in like 4 or 5 years now. So again, when y'all be talking, y'all don't know what y'all talking about, bro. Even if LeBron does decline, he's still going to be above league average. That's the problem. Russell Westbrook's decline in his efficiency is below league average. He's literally inefficient. Even if LeBron declines, it's not going to be inefficient. And also, bro, we're not talking about LeBron. We're talking about Russ. And the things that I am stating...
Legend. Let me ask you this.
Is this scoring translating to win right now? That's what I want to know.
Real quick. I know Kari wanted to jump in, and then Good, you can jump in, and I'm going to have to drop y'all, bro.
Okay, I just wanted to, I guess, kind of bring it back to like the main topic about the 20-point guards being better than Westbrook. One, I want to say as a Lakers fan, I find it crazy that the same player that we like sagged off on in the bubble, we just went and picked them up like 2 years later.
Thank you.
The 20-point the list that Lowe has, it's saying right now, I don't know if you could put Murray and Lillard there strictly because they haven't played. I understand his list says when everyone's healthy. When everyone's healthy, I do agree that those players would fit better on the Lakers. So the argument that DeJounte Murray wouldn't fit better is completely incorrect because even on the defensive end, DeJounte Murray adds way more than Westbrook has in recent years. I understand DeJounte Murray isn't a good shooter, and I would say he's somewhere near Westbrook shooting the ball from like the 3-point line. But even defensively, I feel like he makes that up. But the whole like 20-point guards better than Russell Westbrook right now, I completely agree with that. That at least this list is 100% better than Westbrook this year.
Yeah, I want to comment on the subject too, because I really got to a chance to yet. But I'm gonna say this real quick.
Guards better than Russell Westbrook.
Hold on, Nitro, hold on a sec. I'm gonna let you ride. Hold on, Mark, you can't say nothing about my list no more, dude. After me seeing this topic, bro, that's all I'm gonna say real quick.
I'm sorry,
dude.
Nitro
You don't have LeBron
responded.
in your top 50 players of all time. Stop talking to me.
You damn right.
Nah, that's crazy. But
Wait,
Nitro,
what?
Nasty
So
work.
he's an elite
Nasty
vermin
work.
here. Okay.
Nasty work right
Yeah,
there.
the
I'm
thing is,
sorry.
That's
what does
disgusting
LeBron have to
work.
do with Russ being ass? What does
Let
Brian
me
have to do
say
with that?
something because you brought up that Rockets point, and I just find that so hilarious that you guys bring up the Rockets point. That nigga Russell Westbrook had 40 on the Rockets in the regular season before they even played in the playoffs. You're talking about a player who relies on his athleticism, and he was hurt in the
They got shit
playoffs
on Russ
versus the
Westbrook.
Lakers. He was
You just
literally hurt.
totally
He had a hamstring
disregarded.
Them
injury.
niggas got
So
shit
of
on
You
Russ
course
Westbrook.
he wasn't
disregarded
playing like he was
totally
supposed to.
everything what I just said. All I said was the same player that we played and sagged off from the 3-point line, and which was
And that
totally
same
we
player had
literally
40 on the
listen
Lakers
to what
that
I'm
same
Bro, they got
saying.
season.
shit
So
on
I'm
I'm
Russ
not
talking
Westbrook.
about in
understanding
the
your point.
playoff. I'm talking about in the
The
playoff. Just
playoffs, he
listen.
was injured. So
Yo,
what is your
please,
point?
All
can I
What
right.
please
is
just
your
finish my
point?
point? Can I please just finish what I'm saying? All I'm saying is, it's crazy that the Lakers went and picked up the same player that we played, literally let him shoot the ball all he wanted to, and expected him to do something different in our system. That's all I'm saying. That makes no sense. Now, to Nitro, I don't know if he disagreed with there being 20-point guards right now better than Russell Westbrook. But honestly, I think it was Joy that said she had a problem with people saying they were better. I don't know if you were saying all time.
Yeah, I
or
said,
like,
yeah. No, what I was saying was I have a issue with people saying that they're better players. I think you can say they're outperforming him this season, but they're not better players than him.
Hey, yo, question. How many times did Russell Westbrook miss the playoffs? How many times has Russell
0.
Westbrook as the main option missed the playoffs?
0.
Thank you. That's all I gotta say. A lot of these guys that you're saying can't even get a team by themselves to a playoff game, much
Exactly.
less the play-in
Exactly.
games.
That has
Y'all
nothing
was
to do
capping.
with if
Listen,
they're
I
better
was
than
minding
Russ
my
right
own
now, though.
business, and I was sitting there scrolling, and I sit there come upon something talking about someone has 20-point guard better than Russell Westbrook. What are you guys smoking?
okay, so do you think right
Please let
now
me know.
Russell Westbrook? So do you think right now Russell Westbrook on let's say the Wizards or the Thunder right now, he'd be in the playoffs?
Russell Westbrook would be able to carry his team to at least a 9th seed. And
You
that's
do know.
being
At least he
That
100%
was
was
honest.
funny.
You
ass.
do know.
That
Last
is
year he
At least
was the
100%.
no,
ninth
it
seed
ain't
If
at
because we
least a
went to
Russell
the
ninth
Westbrook,
seed.
playoffs.
I think it'll be better than a ninth seed. I think it's at
at
least
least,
seven or
Better
at
eight.
than the
least,
ninth
he has
seed.
never missed the
He's playing
playoffs
with
in his
Thank
whole
you.
LeBron if they're a
career.
ninth
Thank
seed.
So
you.
You
I'm
know
not
what's
Now,
funny about
understanding
this
what you
though?
guys are
It
bringing.
depends how he starts
listen,
off,
we're
though.
talking
Ninth
about
seed sounds bad.
historical facts.
I don't mean
You
to.
guys are
I
getting
don't mean to.
players that have done
Y'all
nothing
are
in this
also you're
league
also
over
saying that
a top 75 player of all time. Think
real
about
quick.
Bro,
that
Y'all
for
that's
a
are
old
also
second.
shit.
saying
What
that
does that shit
Russell
have to do with
Westbrook.
right now? That's
Wait a
It has
minute.
old
Wait a
shit.
nothing to
minute.
do
Wait
with
a
right
minute.
now. We're
Wait
talking
a
about right
minute.
now, not not what he
Wait
did
a minute.
four,
Wait
four
a
or
minute.
years
Years
ago.
ago.
Better seasons.
No.
There is not 20
I'm
better
living.
players. They're just
Wow.
having
Wait,
better
wait, wait.
seasons.
That
So
would
I got
mean
a
Like
I
different
got
what
a
is
What's
what
the
question.
what
top
is the
I got a
75
what?
list?
How
question.
is that not getting through your head? They're having
I
a
What's
got a
better
question.
season.
All right,
Yo,
I'm
yo,
gonna
yo,
let
yo,
I'm
hell?
gonna
yo,
They
I'm
don't
gonna
yo,
have
let
the
the
yo,
I'm
yo,
gonna
same
let the
yo,
other
yo, yo,
MVP,
gentleman
yo,
go.
bro.
yo, yo.
We
I
were
got a
not
question.
arguing Gary is Garland better than Russell Westbrook last year. So I'm not Because Garland understanding. is
Okay,
Bro,
He's
are you
having a better
bro,
season.
there's no way you're
Not
this
he's
No,
not a
wait.
dense.
better player,
There's no way you're
legend.
this dense, bro. There's no way you're
No,
this
wait.
dense. Bro,
Russ is having
players
a different amount
I
of
Legend,
got a
usage than
legend,
him,
I
legend.
dog.
wait.
All right, wait a minute. I've been doing beautiful with this mute button tonight. Beautiful. And y'all made me pull the trigger. One at a time, please, fellas. Thank you. I've been doing good as shit
Ashley,
Yo,
I
I
just
yo,
need to
yo, I got a
listen.
question.
Yo,
Yo, I got
Ashley,
a
oh
you're
my
my
question.
best
gosh.
I got
friend,
a
tonight. Okay.
right?
He
I
said
got a
one
You're
at
my
a
question.
best friend.
time. Oh my
Nitro and
gosh.
Tony. Jesus Christ. One at a time. What the hell?
And and
I
and, and after y'all, I
yo,
have a question for Goods.
And
yeah,
then
yeah, yeah. Yo,
I see you,
Nitro,
TSO,
you
with your
can go.
hand up, bro. We're gonna get to you, bro. I see you.
Nitro, you can go
appreciate
right
that.
after me, bro. Nitro, you can go right after me, bro. How you doing? I got a question for the co-host. Ashley, mostly. Yo,
Why
Ashley, how in the world did you get? Oh, I'm the host. I'm sorry, the host. Yo, I got a. How in the hell did you get over 800 people in this space, yo?
People, hey, look, they love to hate Russ, dog, or they hate to love him, whatever. It's Russ, bro.
Yeah,
He brings that shit in.
Yo. So the debate is there's not 20 players better than Russ.
You believe that okay, so I forgot the guy who said it. Damn, Mark knows his name. Simple, right? Simple said Mark said that there were at least 10 to 15. Simple said he could add at least 10 to that and make it 20-point guards that were better than Russell Westbrook right now.
Nah, there's not 20-point guards better than Russ, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, Russ is having a very trash season, but I mean, let's not forget that this guy, you know, was as a ball dominant point guard, he was pretty dominant with the ball and was making moves. You know, I mean, he went to the playoffs. I mean, he never missed the playoffs, right? So, I mean, as far as 20-point guards better than him, nah, I don't think so.
Yo, I'm sorry.
What does
The
the old shit
title
have to do
clearly
with right now?
says someone has 20-point guards better than Westbrook right
But
now.
don't get me wrong. Right,
Why
right
are we
now,
talking about
there
all
was
time?
somebody that put Patrick Beverly on their list. What the fuck?
And that is
talking
nuts.
about here?
That's
Pat Bev.
I'm muting y'all again. It's disrespectful to have D'Angelo Russell in the freaking list. Like, what are we
No, it's not.
That is
No, it's
nuts.
not.
What are we
No, it's
talking
not.
about here? It is. That's rude. That's disrespectful.
No,
Yes,
it's
it is,
not.
Mark. Yes,
D'Angelo
it is, Mark.
Russell is clearly better than Westbrook right now.
There's no clear about
Oh
it.
my
Come on,
gosh.
bro.
D'Angelo Russell is way better than Westbrook right now.
Having a better season, but he's a better player.
He's a better player. He's a way better shooter. He's a way better passer.
Okay. Wait. Hold on. So I have a question for Goods. Because Goods, I've seen your tweets and you have a problem with the way I've been defending Russ. So what exactly is your problem? You said I have low IQ. What is your problem with what I've said about what is your problem with how I've been defending Russ?
Joy, my problem with you is just you make us
I don't do all the
Joy.
Let him
Let me speak. My problem with you is Joy. You don't say a lot of logical things when it comes to Russ. Like, you got to be objective. He's been playing terrible this year, and you just the way you like said it was just horrible. Like, I was here listening to this space and I was cringing.
To be fair, Good, she has been adamant that he's having a trash year.
So exactly. So
but the way she was and I know a lot of
that's the way you interpreted it, baby. Because all night she's been saying he's been having a trash year. As a matter of fact, most of the people.
So where the heck are you getting that from?
Ashley, we can agree that there was a lot of Lakers fans or fans of basketball in here just laughing at what she was saying.
They were laughing.
It really sounded ridiculous to me. What you were saying.
At you with your Chris. What are you talking about?
I said nothing but facts.
Wait.
Sounded crazy. Is what you sound.
What do you say about Chris Paul? What did he say about Chris Paul? What did he say about Chris Paul?
He said that Russell Westbrook and Chris Paul had the same off-ball skills, which is cap.
When did I say Russell Westbrook and Chris Paul had the same
Wow.
When did I ever say that? When did I ever say that? Now she's just lying. She's just lying now.
Space is
Hold
up. I muted everybody. Goods. What did you say exactly? Let's go ahead and clear the air. And did anybody else hear that?
Legend, he was talking to Legend when he said it.
Go ahead, Goods. You can unmute yourself.
I said in a similar way to how people said taking the ball out of Russ's hands, he's not effective. That's why I said, maybe look at CP3. How is he effective without the ball? That's what I said. I never said they have similar off-ball skills. That never came out my mouth.
Legend. What did you interpret from that when he said that?
No, I interpret the way he interpreted it, but the idea that you question Chris Paul's ability to be an off-ball performer, but you're kind of pushing back on this idea of Russ. I ain't gonna. There's more people who sent me messages and laughing at you than anything else that she said is tonight.
Thank you. Boom.
That was such a bad. That was such a bad take.
Thank you.
You know what? Let's just say this: Russ needs to leave Los Angeles. LeBron has cursed that man. Y'all have listen. Y'all have used that man as a scapegoat. He might as well have two horns coming out of his forehead, bro. Two horns coming out of his forehead right now, bro. This man, LeBron, and them has thrown this man to the wolves. To the wolves.
Bro, that nigga sucks. Have you seen him play this year? Have you seen him play this for real? Have you seen him play?
I have watched LeBron.
He's
and
trash,
AD
bro. He stinks. Is the point? If you would watch, he's
Bro,
not. Come on.
Can I say one thing before we continue, bro? Y'all, everybody getting caught up. Because I keep making this point, and everybody keeps moving the needle about what we're talking about, bro. We can remove the wins and losses, bro, and just look at who he is as a player, what he's doing this year as a
Well, okay. Well,
player.
let me ask you
He
Thank
is a
something.
you.
Let me
worse.
ask you.
Okay, okay. I
Thank
have a
you.
Hold on.
question.
Let
I have
me
a
ask you
question for you,
something.
Legend. I have a
Wait.
question
Let
for
me
you,
ask
Legend.
you
No.
something.
Let me ask.
Hold on, Nitro.
Wait,
Hold
wait,
on,
wait, bro.
Nitro. Hold on. So let me
I've been
ask.
holding on the whole time.
Wait, hold on, Nitro. Give me a sec, bro. Give me a sec. So,
Man, I even had to fall back and lean back like I'm Fat Joe. Damn.
so let me ask
Hey,
this.
and Tony, I'm gonna
Real,
let you go real quick, but after you, we have to go to TSO. He got his hand up, man.
yeah.
But go ahead, bro.
Yes,
So,
sir.
so,
Appreciate
so,
it,
That nigga
sir.
so,
Nitro ain't never gonna go.
so, so we all know. I think it's safe to say that Russ is having a trash year. So does this year completely defines who he is as a player for his whole career?
No,
No,
that's not what people saying.
No,
that's
Okay,
not,
hell
and
I'm just
that's
no.
and
making
that's. I'm
sure.
happy.
I'm just making sure.
I'm gonna answer that.
No.
Nitro, what you had to say before I
Yeah,
was gonna
go ahead,
say?
Nitro.
Let me tell y'all something right
Wait a
now.
minute. Wait a minute. Hold up. I
Oh,
gotta let
falling
TSO
back
go.
again.
I hear y'all. Yeah, I'm sorry. My bad. I gotta let TSO go. I gotta start moving people. So go ahead, TSO.
Hey, what's good, y'all? I see a lot of animosity right now over Russell Westbrook. I just want to say, hey, in terms of him being top 20, I mean, I don't know about that. I mean, he's definitely having a bad year, and if the question is right now, the answer is right now, probably not. But that's besides the point. I just want to echo the sentiment before I have to leave. I'm glad I got this off right on time. A lot of these points are kind of respectfully like either uneducated or just really, really, really bad. Like, for example, someone like we keep harping on last year and past Russ, even though the question is right now. But regardless, we're talking about Russ alone with better spacing or whatever. Well, in Washington, he had very similar spacing, and the team was a 10th seed. Yes, the team made the playoffs, sure, but it was also the second. No, I think. Well, it depends if y'all really care about the bubble or not. But it was really the first season, the first start to end season that implemented the plan. Y'all want to talk about that? Y'all just want to talk about the fact he made the postseason and got packed up, like how he's been doing for like majority of his career. Now, I don't really care about Russ no more. I'm a depressed Laker, for those of you that don't know. So I've already done met that bridge of pain, crossed it. I don't even care no more. But I just want some of these Russ fans to tighten up because some of these points are kind of dog shit. I ain't gonna cap.
What points are exactly? I don't curse.
Well,
Dog.
for example, the only one I didn't take a lot of notes. I've been editing this whole time. One thing you said was specifically, well, that wasn't. It's nitpicky, admittingly, but you were like, Russ had way more spacing in Washington. They were actually barely a better shooting team, and there was only like two players. One I think got traded. I forgot who. And then there's some
Bertans.
other random dude that shot like 47% from three.
And so
And
who's the other? Okay. So
Bertans got traded. I think you're talking about Bertans.
yeah,
so who's the other guy? Because I can name a lot of guys on that roster that could actually shoot and knock it
I
down.
mean, I know you ain't gonna name Ish Smith, even though his percentage is actually nice. I
You
knew you
may
ain't gonna
not
name
be
him.
aware. You may not
Nah,
be
you had
aware of
Bertans, you had
Garrison
Raw,
Matthews,
Nato, Garrison.
Nato.
It was a
Yeah,
random people.
like
I want to say this. I
those
want to
guys
say this to
have
Okay,
the
a better.
Wizards.
okay,
I do
fair enough,
TSO.
fair
I
enough.
want to say this to the Wizards point though, because y'all, a lot of y'all are using that as like he only made it to the ninth seed, and if there wasn't a play in, that wouldn't even be the case.
Okay,
Y'all, a lot of y'all didn't even watch that Wizards season.
Facts,
They
and
were
I did.
I
horrible. Like
watched season.
I'm talking. I'm in DC. I watched every single game, and a lot of that was because around the Russ hype.
Facts.
And so most of that first half, it was all Bradley Beal. Russ was hurt most of the time. They weren't looking to even make the play-in, dog, until Russ got healthy and literally
Boom.
came in and changed the dynamic. And not just with his scoring, but with his mentality, with his winner
Exactly.
mentality. It was more than just about what he did statistically. It was about what he brought to the team, effort, playing, just balling out of control.
Yeah,
We didn't play good. We
Oh
didn't
no,
play good
that's
Where
oh
defense.
did
go
that
ahead,
go
go
though?
ahead, because I
I'm
got something to
sorry.
say to that in the sense of
What was that
I've
question?
literally interned not for the Wizards. I interned for ABC. I live in DC, so I know too. I know what it was like when they got him. I know it was like how he played in the game. I watched the bro too. Trust. I've definitely watched bro. I've definitely seen him give fans some hope. But unfortunately, what the reality of the situation was that team ended up being a bit underwhelming. And let's not forget how exceptional Bradley Beal was last season.
Yeah, but
Bradley
the bottom
Beal played
line
out of
is
his
your issue with my point was spacing, and the Wizards definitely had more space. And like I said, I can name you the players to prove that.
As a team, they only shot 1% better.
But again, but there were still more players that can shoot from three, and which gives Russ more space. It's not a matter of who shoots it better. It's a matter of I can't leave this guy open or this guy.
You can name names. I'm matching.
It gives better spacing to Russ.
All right, you name some names.
When not to cut you off again, but nobody was complaining when Russ went to the Wizards. They never said, "Oh, it's a bad fit." It was only for the Lakers. And
the Wizards weren't, but the Wizards weren't ever thought about to win a championship. Like that was never their goal.
Matter. What I'm saying is, Wizards fans never said, "Oh my gosh, it's a bad fit." They said, "Okay, bet we'll see what happens." They wanted John Wall. They said, "Okay, we'll see what happens." But now with Lakers, y'all were already complaining about spacing in the first place, and y'all went and got Russ. So that didn't make any sense to begin with. But that's not to excuse anything. All I'm saying is that the Wizards, they were more reliable, whether y'all want to, whether y'all want to believe it or not, they were. And it was a better spacing situation. So that's that.
Listen, all I hear hating on Westbrook is a whole bunch of spurned Laker fans. All right? The bubble has popped, guys.
If I never said Laker fan, he doesn't say that line.
Bubble, all right? There is no soap and water. There is no Walt Disney. There is no Mickey Mouse to save you. Y'all have been bad and underwhelming outside of the bubble. That is a fact. If you want to talk facts, you were bad, right, in average or even mid before the bubble began. And then the bubble changed that whole
That's
season.
cap. That's cap.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
That's a lie.
That's a lie.
That is a crazy lie.
One, that's not true, but two, you're
is
trying to
lying.
change the rules.
Yo,
What
that's
does
a lie.
Can I finish? Y'all
You're
been
lying.
All right, Stephen A.
What
Damn.
do you mean lying? What do you mean lying? Fall back,
That's
lean
a terrible
back,
lie.
like Fat Joe. That is not a
Don't
lie.
preach.
Y'all have
Don't
been
preach,
mid, bro.
Nitro.
Y'all have been mid. And you know what y'all have done now? Y'all have seen poor Russell Westbrook, that brother who went home to Los Angeles, and you have placed the blame on his head, happily, I might add. And all of you are sitting there piling on him, knowing that once he leaves Los Angeles, he will look like Russell Westbrook that we are used to. LeBron James is a system. He's the system. If a player comes in and has to do something else, it's hard to play next one because LeBron needs the ball in his hands.
Bro, Russ
And he
gets
needs
the
shooters.
ball.
Nitro.
And he
Russ
needs
gets the
shooters.
ball.
Y'all also
And he
gloss over.
needs
See, this is what I'm
shooters.
talking about when I say these
Russ be having the ball.
Y'all gloss over the fact Russell Westbrook dominates the ball. Nobody has yet to talk. Look, shout out my dog Low. Nobody has yet to rebut the fact that Russ not only has the ball more, but when LeBron is not on the court, y'all look at LeBron as a villain in this situation. When LeBron doesn't play, Russ doesn't get exponentially better as y'all would think he would. Mind you, there's been moments when Russ and a healthy Anthony Davis have been on the court together. And I don't know about y'all, but 2017, Russ had Steven Adams. 2022, Russ got AD. So even if we're going to look at it that laterally, you would think he'd be really fucking good. Oh, I don't know if I guess be my fault. But he would be really, really good if he had Anthony Davis as his co-star, but it wasn't. It wasn't the case.
Question.
Russ without. Hold on. Russ
Anthony Davis. You said Anthony Davis. Does LeBron look great right now before Anthony Davis got hurt with him? No. They lost to Portland.
He did.
Poorly.
He did like a couple months ago. He did.
Yeah, but I say he's been hurt for a while, buddy.
The Lakers.
Russ and AD play without Bron, and they blew 20-point leads to the Thunder twice in the same week.
What are you talking
that happened.
about?
And also the Lakers had
team is bad, bro. The whole team.
He's a part of the team. He's a big reason why the team is bad.
Wait, just also the Lakers had a 49-14 record, and they're the top of the Western Conference before the bubble started. That's just a lie.
Yeah,
Second of all, bro, we can remove wins and losses and just look at what the player is producing, bro. And I keep saying this, and y'all keep making it like this Laker propaganda. Bro, look at what he is producing. Forget the name on the jersey, forget the name on the team. That man is still turning the ball over at an abnormal rate. He is not playing the same defense. He's not finishing at the rim as much. His free throw percentage is still in the mid 60s. It's just and he's not the finishing at the paint in mid is nowhere near that it once was before. This is not an indictment on who he is as a player all time. We are talking about simply what we are seeing. Furthermore, there have been games in which LeBron did not play, or there's games or time where LeBron is off the court and Westbrook is handling the ball, and he still doesn't look like this whatever Westbrook y'all assuming that he is. Again, we can argue about if the personnel best suits him, fair. But even when Westbrook is on the floor with proper floor spacing, because again, especially since as of late, the way that Malik Monk has been shooting, they still respect Carmelo Anthony when he's out there as well. Bro, and on top of that, depending on who's going between Austin Reeves, Wade Ellington, and Avery Bradley,
thank you.
he's not playing out there with people who are shooting in there in the low 30s. He's just not. But
Okay.
even if we want to make that argument, bro, again, we're just talking about the player, just the player.
I just want to make one final thing. People are gonna take that and run with the fact, oh well, the spacing is trash. One, there are role players on the Lakers that can shoot, but two, more importantly, when you have not one but two other players, both in LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Yes, we know they're better than Russell Westbrook, but having some of the, I don't know if it's still technically true, but it definitely was for the majority of the year, having their career years inside or rivaling career years inside, it's not spacing solos. That's why Russ is missing layups. Russ is missing wide open layups. Y'all swear y'all watch these games. I don't know if y'all do, because
I
Russ
watched
is
the
really
game.
banking dunks and
Laker
shit.
I
propaganda.
watched the
Not
games,
only is he
and
missing
one thing that
layups,
I will say, I watched all the games. I watched every game, since OKC. And one thing that I will say is there is absolutely no excuse for him blowing layups. Like listen, this is what I'll say. Some things are affected by spacing and his teammates. Some things are not. Okay, and I think and I think somebody said earlier, it's not. I don't think it's his athleticism fading away. I think the brights are light, and I think he overthinks everything. So I think
That's true.
with him with the blown layups, he's never questioned himself. One thing Russ has never done has been scared to the ball ever. And that's something that I've always given him applause for. But again, I do have a question for Legend, because I know Legend, he said earlier that he believes that Russ would be better next year if he went somewhere else, or if he was on a different team. So I want to ask Legend like why he thinks that.
I mean, it depends on the team. It really depends on the team. Let me not say that as a blanket statement, because if he goes on a team that doesn't have the proper floor spacing, then that's still gonna be a problem. But unfortunately I do have to go. But let me ask everybody this, because you just said again, like, you don't think his athleticism is waning. I think in many regards it's kind of obvious that it is, but I don't understand why there's this much pushback on this. Like, Westbrook in the past like 3 years has dealt with injuries. He's 33, going to be 34 at the end of this year. Like, him declining is like a fairly normal thing. Why? I don't understand why this idea that he can like
I
decline in top point guard stardom is like out of the question.
I would go
Well,
so
I
far as
think
to say it's kind of disrespectful to prime Russ that y'all acting like he's not declining,
well,
because
no, this
it's
is what I'm
clearly
gonna
obvious.
say. This is what I'm gonna say. I think you get so much pushback because people are trying to blame that on the reason why he's playing bad. So basically, they're saying is people are saying that he's declining. He's a trash player now. When again, like I said, I think it's more
I
so
mean,
mentally. So I'm not saying that Russ has not declined. He has declined. But I don't think in this specific situation, I don't think anybody can decline this fast compared to this year and last year.
But we keep saying that, but he's not. He actually hasn't declined that much. He's shooting the same field goal percentage, roughly the same 3-point percentage, roughly the same free throw percentage. His rebounds and assists have gone down, not because he's declining, but because of the situation that he's in, because he's on the team with LeBron and another scoring option. So in the scoring option is a post player, or at least is going to be able to create his own shot. So his assist numbers aren't going to look the same. And he's playing on a team that features like two bigs that actually are rebounding in AD and the other big between Dwight and Drummond. I mean,
Yeah,
Dwight and Jordan. So
yeah,
like,
but
but
at the
the
same
other numbers
time,
are,
at the same time, there are certain layups that he's never blown. Like there's been wide open dunks that and like I said, I don't see it as because like I said, for example, I've seen games with the Lakers where Russ has went off, where he has dunked, where he has got, he's drove. And then there's games where he doesn't do that. And people say, oh, that's because it's fading. It's not fading. I just think it's more so mental. So I get what you're saying, and you're saying that it's normal to decline, but I don't think in these specific situations where it's a decline, it's a declining state. I think that he's just overthinking in these specific situations.
But the point I'm making is that even if he were to make those shots, like let's just say instead of him missing a dunk or two a game or a layup or two a game that he would normally make, let's say he makes them. He goes back to the same 20 to 22 point score he was last year. So that's my point. Like who Westbrook is outside of the finishing, that is, I'll give him some pass on that. It's abnormal that he's missing this many layups. I still say the problem is that Westbrook has been declining slowly as his career has progressed. People didn't want to admit it because of the triple doubles and because of his name. So if anybody questions the idea that he may be declining, then it's met with about a lot of pushback. But who he is as a player, he has been slowly declining already anyway. And so now when we get to this point where the misses are a bit more egregious and he's on a team that people are going to talk about more, and he's underachieving in terms of the amount of success, then people want to have this conversation. But I'm telling y'all, bro, people like myself and a lot of other people have already acknowledged last year Westbrook was not a top 10 point guard. People are acknowledging this for years now. I said, and even after his MVP season, that's great. He did that. It would probably better benefit him, though, if he became an off-ball player in a three-point shooter. It would best benefit him instead of go grabbing triple doubles. But these are things that people have already been attempting to highlight to you all for years. So this isn't out of nowhere. It's just not.
I can respect, most of what you're saying. The only thing I have pushback with, and I already told you that, is I believe that he was definitely a top 10 point guard last year. But other than that, like I said, I don't have an issue with, with your argument.
Also, can I touch on that triple double stat as well? And I don't really mean to bring up history or anything, because congratulations to Russell Westbrook. What was it, like 5 seasons that he averaged a triple double or something like that? I think it was 4, right? So he averaged a triple double the first time. Did it for the first time since Oscar Robertson. Won MVP, and he's done it 3 times since. And he never garnered any MVP interest, any MVP votes, or any MVP stature, despite the fact that he was averaging triple doubles, which was something that we had never seen, and he did it as many times as he did. Paul George was on the same team as him when he averaged a triple double, and Paul George took second or third in the MVP voting that year. Russell Westbrook didn't even have a spot.
Shout out to Paul George, man. Shout out to Paul George. I appreciate bringing up PG-13 in here.
Oh, yeah, because the room probably doesn't know this. Ashley was throwing a hissy fit and threatening people and bullying people into putting Paul George into what this conversation was originally about.
Don't say I was
Nah, because people
but
was
y'all
giving
not about to. All right, that's cool. We're going to go to this. But the people in this space, what y'all not about to do is be leaving Paul George off of a top 5 small forward list. All right.
Yeah, what happened was people was putting their list up, and she was like, so you ain't got Paul George up there? Like, really not wanting to get packed up. Okay, so with all that being said, Russell Westbrook was gaining all of this notoriety. He was doing these same things that we are talking about, but it's like, people that actually watched the game wasn't looking at the statistics that he was doing and say, oh, yeah, you know what? That is something interesting enough for us to go ahead and give him these accolades for. They gave him MVP while he was the 6th seed for the Thunder because KD had left, and it was a good story that he had ended up, averaging the triple-double, first one since Oscar Robertson, but he's done it 3 times since and haven't got any notoriety for it outside the fact that, we're saying that he did it. Like, Russell Westbrook's decline is something that's been going on for years. A lot of it has been masked by the fact that, number one, he's been at least good enough to be able to get certain teams that he played on to the playoffs. Number two, played along other players that were better than him and bigger than him, so that way his flaws did not stick out as much. But now when he's with the Lakers, LeBron James endorsed this man. Hey, we want you to come out to LA, play with us, blah, blah, blah. If he's there and the team is bad, yeah, you can say like the wins and losses are all a team thing and everything, but like if you really had to look at it in a vacuum and say, well, who can we put a lot of this blame on? Who's going to be the one to fall on the sword more of it? Realistically, it'll probably be LeBron James because he's really the general manager that made all this happen. But for the actual play and the way that you have to play, Russell Westbrook would get a lot of that blame. Russell Westbrook would get a lot of the criticism because if you look at the plus minuses, if you look at the turnover ratio or things like that, he is the team's worst efficient player. He's usually the worst when it comes to plus minuses. He really doesn't provide as much when he's on the floor for that team. Somebody point out the fact that James Harden is leading the league in turnovers. Well, that's cool, but James Harden makes smarter basketball decisions. He makes better plays, and he is a significantly better scorer and game time situational player than Russell Westbrook. Here's the thing: versus the Knicks, when the Lakers needed a win,
Land plane, Phoenix.
Russell Westbrook. I'm about to right here. Russell Westbrook was pulled in the fourth quarter and didn't play in overtime. That is not something that a top 10 or top 15 player, let alone a point guard, would be. Like that argument alone just goes to say, yo, this dude's really not as good. When the team has to consider pulling you in the fourth quarter of a close game, you ain't that dude no more.
Okay,
I got a
don't
question.
forget to name what he did right after that a few games later when he did the whole 30-point in the second half thing, boo. Thanks. Bye.
Real quick, QC, I see QC got his hand up, and I think QC,
Wait,
QC
had
had
a
a
It was
hand up.
not
GI,
long after it.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can y'all tell me how Westbrook is a more valuable basketball player than Marcus Smart?
Oh my god.
Bro, chill, bro.
That's all I want to hear.
Hold on. Okay.
Who said
That's all I
Okay.
want to
Who
hear.
let him
All
back
right.
up?
Can
Who
I
said
answer this
that?
question? Can I answer this question? For the team that he plays on, the system that they run, and what he is required to do on both ends of the floor. For the for the Boston Celtics, Marcus Smart is more valuable to his team currently than Russell Westbrook would be for the Lakers because
Thank
he
you.
adds a dimension to that team that allows them to be successful. We know that Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are the bread and butter of that team. We understand that, but kind of like Draymond Green to the Golden State Warriors, Marcus Smart is the heart and soul of that team, and he's
What
one of the
team would
guys.
I
Westbrook?
can't believe I'm about to defend Team Russ here, but I'm
What?
sorry, but that's completely irrelevant though.
Please
Like
What?
Drake,
do it
like
because
for
this is
No,
example,
just stupid.
hold on, hold on, hold
What
on.
He just
team?
asked for answers to the questions. He just asked the answers to the question. I've
What
answered the
team would
questions that you
Westbrook
asked.
be more
Bro,
valuable than Marcus Smart on?
y'all are skewing the question. The question is who is Russ better than? Draymond Green is more valuable than 99% of the league to his team.
Marcus
However,
Smart is.
Draymond Green is nowhere near a top 5, top 10, top 15 player in the league. Let's stay on topic here.
There's some people
Yes.
that.
Oh, that was a perfect scenario. Great
Okay, I
job.
got a question.
He's probably top 15 in his position, though.
I got a question for you, Joy.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I just wanted to know: do you think Russell Westbrook can be a championship, like as far as if he second primary point guard, secondary point guard? Do you think he could be a championship player?
And when you're saying secondary point guard, you mean he'll
Like
come off the bench?
ball handler, playmaker, like kind of what he is for the Lakers.
So it's like a third option, right?
I mean more like secondary ball handler. Like LeBron's the primary.
Oh, so you're saying like a second option kind of.
Yeah, I said the question wrong.
You're fine. So I think that Russ went to the wrong LA. I think he should have went to the Clippers. I have tweets proving this, that I wanted him to go. I either wanted him to stay with the Wizards, go to Philly, or go to the Clippers. And I think the Clippers are a much, much, much better fit. And we've already seen him play with PG. I think him playing with Kawhi would have been even better than the fit with AD and LeBron. And I feel like I would love to see Ty Lue coach Russ. I think that Frank Vogel, he doesn't really do much for him, and neither did Scott Brooks. Scott Brooks was just a yes man. But regardless, I think the best for that scenario, it would be the Clippers, and I think that he could win a championship with them. I do think so.
Kawhi didn't want to play with Russ.
Joy,
If I remember.
I don't
All
know.
He's
right,
gonna play with the
Jamie.
ghost of
Nobody
Kawhi this
asked
year.
that.
Hold on, Joy. I don't know if you said I don't know if you said you want him to go to Philly, like the Philadelphia 76ers. We absolutely did not want Russell Westbrook
All right,
because
Phoenix. Guess what? Phoenix. You didn't ask me the question, and I was answering G.I. May,
No,
and I didn't particularly ask the fans. He asked me, was there a roster that Russ would fit on championship wise? I answered it. It didn't have anything to do with what the fans wanted and what the fans didn't want. Okay, so that's that.
I mean, I couldn't hear what you were saying, so I was just getting clarity to say if you said Philly, as in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I said Philly, but like I said, the 76ers. But like I said, bottom line, it doesn't really matter what the fans did or didn't want. It's a question about the roster and the fit and him being second option.
Okay, so let me touch on that. Like, how would he have been a better fit on the 76ers when they had a player that was kind of like him that they showed wasn't as good of an option in the playoffs when it mattered the most? Like, being a ball dominant player that can't shoot or is ineffective in certain parts of the game. They already had that for Ben Simmons, but the difference between Russell Westbrook and Ben Simmons is if Ben Simmons can't score and shoot, he can still affect the game in other ways. Russell Westbrook can't do that.
Right, yes.
Like, you can't
all right, well, you want me to answer the question or what?
Yeah, like, you can't ask Westbrook to lock down the other team's best player.
Still talking. All right. So, the reason why I feel like Russ would fit better with the 76ers than Ben Simmons would is because, number one, he's a phenomenal playmaker, just like Ben Simmons is. But number two, he's not afraid to shoot the ball. And all Joel Embiid wanted, he didn't say, "Hey, Ben Simmons, I want you to shoot, go 16 for 20. I just want you to shoot. I just want you to not be afraid to shoot the ball." And that's something that Russ has never been afraid to do. That's number one. Number two, I think that, he could have aided in different ways offensively. But like I said, besides playing and scoring, I just think he would have brought, a certain level of leadership and mentality that he always brings to different teams there. And with Ben Simmons, he's a good defender and, he's a good playmaker. But again, they need scoring, and Russ can do that for you. So that's what I think about that.
Also, like, yeah, he's a great playmaker. Ben Simmons has